So as far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows. He's roasting some ass and he's picking his nose. He speaks like a pro on the Steel Toe Show. He's making a mess and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Oh, hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang doodly mama splatting your hat. Doo doo poot cakes.
Hey, everybody. Doo-doo poot cakes, indeed. Something to do with poop. Something to do with feces. Welcome to the show. I hope this works. I'm the last guy in the universe to upgrade my Twitter. I still don't call it X. I just think X is a stupid... I was on X. No, enough X for me for one lifetime. But I was on Twitter, and I'm like, I'm streaming to two different Facebook pages. So we got Steel Toe Morning Show on Facebook. We got Kick. We got Rumble. We got YouTube. And I was streaming to my own personal Facebook page. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's stupid. But I'm banned on Twitch, so we can't go there. So I said, you know what? Why don't I just do the damn thing? Simulcast stream to Twitch, and we'll add that as our... Then we legitimately have 5 platforms. So I did that. I hope it's working. It might not be. Who gives a shit? It's day one. We'll see what happens. Welcome to the show. I'm very excited. Of course, you guys have shit you want to talk about. I have shit I want to talk about. We'll also discuss the worst possible way to possibly get ahead of something that I think I've ever seen. And it's from a familiar source. If there's nothing to get ahead of, don't get ahead of it. If you, hey, a thing's gonna come out. They're gonna say I did it. I didn't. Not there's a thing that's gonna come out. It's out of context. Here's what happened. I've done that before. Actually, no, I've never. You know what? I've never done the getting ahead of it. I always wait till it comes out, and then I address it. I think that's a more honest way to do it. But I don't think it's necessarily always a lie to get ahead of things. I don't think there's anything wrong. Like sometimes you're being blackmailed. I mean, as a matter of fact, the reason I came out with all the polycule stuff is I got blackmailed. I got threatened. I got told, boy. Somebody told me, sure would be a shame if your ex-wife found out that you were doing all that Molly and shit. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, nobody's gonna fucking, try to fuck with that. Oh, you brought your kids to this place. Sure would be a shame. I'm like, well, then guess what? I better just come out with it then. So, sometimes you're being blackmailed. I think, wasn't it Kevin Hart was being blackmailed with a sex tape? So he just dropped it. Some lady was like, I want $10 million or I'm going to drop this sex tape we have. And he goes, fuck you then. Here it is. I thought that was a baller move. So getting ahead of things when you're admitting something is good. denying something that hasn't come out yet that no one knows about, that's a red flag in my book. I mean, you're allowed to think whatever you want to think. But if nobody knows about this thing and you say, this thing's going to happen, you're going to hear this thing, and it's going to make me look like a bag of shit. Totally don't believe it's not true. Not like here's the alternate version of it. Not here's the correct context or anything like that. Like when Kevin Hart got ahead of his thing, it's because it was true. When I got ahead of my thing, it's because it was true. You don't get ahead of something and then deny it. That looks suspicious as fuck. Hey, you don't know about this thing, but they're going to say I did this. Everybody who does that in the movies is fucking guilty. All right, they're going to come to you and they're going to say I killed this guy. Totally didn't kill this guy. Never happened. There's not even a dead guy. Wait, slow down. What? So we're going to talk about that tonight a little bit. I'll fill you in. Look, we're going to talk about something a little later tonight. I just want to get ahead of it. It's going to be discussed. We're going to get to all of that in a little while. I've been in contact with all parties about it, so I don't know much. I don't know much, but I know I love you. I used to be able to go high enough to do a shitty Aaron Neville impression. Now I can't even do a shitty Aaron Neville. I totally didn't just spill beer on myself. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw it. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan. I'm glad he's here because he can kind of guide me through this first thing I want to talk about tonight because I don't have any idea about it. I'm not sure how to go about it. I don't know what was said. I just saw a few quotes and clips, and I thought they were funny. Numero uno can help me through it. Numero uno starting as, well, technically Miss Tay started us off with $20. You want to hear what Miss Tay said to me tonight? You wouldn't believe this. The not disrespect, but the forwardness with which Miss Tay came out with this. $20 from Miss Tay tonight says, have a great show, fatty. I'll catch it later. Thanks. You know, you guys act like I can't have my feelings hurt. You guys act like I don't have feelings and they can't get stung. I got news for you. I care. I care big time. But thank you very much, Miss Tay. I appreciate that start to the program. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan. 160 is the number for the night, by the way. Thank you so much. Numero uno, which says, breaking news. Adam Friedland has been DMing Tom Myers to get Tom on his show, and Tom is big-timing him and refuses to travel and wants money to do a Zoom interview. I will give Tom Myers this. Look, we found out Tom Myers was stream sniping us one day, and we beat the shit out of him a little bit. Like, you can't take Tom Myers seriously. There's something fucked up. He's like mentally not challenged like a retarded kid, but like he's not all there. So you kind of got to humor him a little bit. I don't like it when people like straight up go after some of these streamers who are very clearly a little got something loose up there, because there, but for the grace of God, go I. But you can have fun with them. You can tease them a little bit. But some people are like, I'm going to fucking destroy this guy. Tom Myers, why? Look at him. He's the bong hit transplant guy. There's something not right up here. If you're like, I'm going to destroy him, if you take him seriously, you're kind of being shitty. It's kind of a bullying deal. Adam Friedland. That's the Nick Mullen show, right? Why don't they... Cumtown was great when Stavros was on it. Now Stavros is on tires. He's doing very well. I like Nick Mullen. Is he still on that show? Because if he is, why Adam Friedland show? I don't get it. Numero uno with $1 says Tom has live viewer numbers in the teens, but doesn't think going on the Adam Friedland show at the height of its popularity is a good move. Well, I mean, that's what makes him great. That's what makes him Tom Myers. Let's go to Phil Herslet. Says, how stupid is can't stomach the Zummick? After all, he got his YouTube super chats back. Well, I mean, that's a good thing, right? I mean, it's a good thing that he got his super chats back. Let's go to, End of silence. Greetings. And then just the gay F word. That's very sweet. Doom says, turns out Red Scare watched the toe. Damn. I know. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about, and Numero Uno is going to help me with this. I wrote to the Red Scare girls, and I told them that the quotes I've seen from that episode so far are very funny. Like, they were, but I have one slight complaint. Not enough focus on me, and not enough jokes and quips and shit about me. They wanted to really hammer Rekieta. They wanted to really beat the shit out of him. And I get it. He's lower hanging fruit than I am. I understand that. There's a lot more meat on that bone. Really, all you have about Toe is begging for the goal. That's it. That's all you've got. I've got more talent. I'm a better broadcaster. I put on a better show than everybody else. You just got that reeking of desperation in the last 45 minutes of a 4.5 hour show to get that number to 0. I mean, that's really, and you can't make a full show off of that, so you got to go with something else. But it was a little too much going after Rekieta for being a junkie and a bum and leaving. They said he had a meth pipe or something like that. Hey, that's nice, girls. That's all well and good. Get back to me, please. Focus on me. One thing you got to know about the streaming game, and Tom Myers should learn this, no such thing as bad publicity. Everybody who streams is a piece of human dog shit. It's varying degrees and colors. That's it. And everybody has an attention span of about 48 hours. That's it. So you can't take the shit too seriously. But I'm honored that they did a show on us. I like that kind of stuff. I like that we kind of make a dent. I like that we break through. I mean, think about it. There's so many podcasts out there. Say what you want about me. I don't care if it's good or bad. We break through. And that's really hard to do, especially in the internet space. It's hard to break through in like radio, television, things like that. It's even harder to break through the internet space because there's no barrier to entry. But for some reason, we break through. And I appreciate that. Sam Show says, but you're boring. Thank you. Thank you, Sam Show. McBuster says, win by 2, did a great job A-logging Mapton today. Melton is a lying piece of shit. No news, but good stuff. Yeah, he got caught on that fake company thing. Apparently it was a Delaware. It was a tax thing. People set up, they incorporate in Delaware for tax purposes when money's tight. So he incorporates in Delaware, but on his website it said Nevada, which was a lie. It's not a Nevada company. So he changed it really quick in the dark of night. He did the COVID switch, right? He did the Fauci switch, and then he didn't mention it, didn't talk about it. There's just like a weird, insecure dishonesty with him that I've picked up on for a long time that a lot of people took till now to figure out. Whatever, at your own speed. But it's just like his inability to admit that he's a cow. The inability for him to admit that he's a goof and a buffoon and he's not to be taken seriously. It holds him back, really. I mean, I'm the only thing keeping him afloat, really, but his inability to admit he's a buffoon and that when you make your living based on someone else, you're beneath them. His lack of humility in that sense and sense of humor. You can tell why he failed at comedy. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says, you started DMing them? No. Twitter, back and forth, all in public. Not sure either one of them is into swinging. Dasha is in her trad era currently, so give her a year. I'm good. Numero uno with $1. Get back to me, girls. Please focus on me. Also a quote from Aaron during the polycule. Thank you. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. Off to a fun start tonight. Thank you guys very much. Thanks for the contributions, everything like that. We've got plenty to talk about tonight. You know, I still, it's not as bad as it was yesterday getting a show ready, but it's still LA heavy. And I don't know about you, but I am fucking tired of LA because we're now in the hot take stage of the LA protest, immigration, riots, whatever you want to call it. It feels weird calling it the LA riots because now I'm old enough to remember 2 LA riots, 92, 93. And now, I was 5 or 6, but I remember Reginald Denny. numero uno Reginald Denny fan. But now there's a second LA riots. And the thing about, thank you, Riding Dirty Llama. Yes, Riding Dirty Llama says you're very welcome, Aaron. Yeah, Riding Dirty Llama is in first place right now with his 102.30 that he dropped in today. We appreciate the $102.30, the 102.30, if you will. So this is the second LA riots. We got a 2025 LA riots, and this one's over immigration. You know, if you get enough millions and millions of people in your city to be there illegally, you can get them to all turn up in the streets to protest throwing out illegals. It's kind of a nice little, you know, it's a feedback loop that you get. So they're going on with that, but it's like now everyone wants to keep covering it. You know, Hassan Piker's down there, and really, when you watch Hassan Piker down at the LA riots, he's just wandering around. You're just watching a rich guy wander around aimlessly like Joe Biden at a press conference. And now everybody, you know, all the hot takes have been had. You know, we support legal immigration, not illegal. And then, if you think Mexico's so great, why are you so scared to be deported back there? And, Trump's got to, reinstall order because Gavin Newsom won't. And then, it's just this... And now just everybody's repeating some version. It's kind of like the Iraq War went on so long that everybody was just regurgitating someone else's opinions. That's kind of where we're at with the LA riot thing. One thing that did happen today, though, is there were some hearings on Capitol Hill. Pete Hegseth was there. And we got the old blue-haired, creepy-looking Congress lady trying to pick fights again. Remember when the old blue-haired lady tried to pick a fight with RFK Jr.? And she's like, oh, really? You wanna do all this stuff with health? Well, I've been here for years working on health. He's like, yeah, I've noticed you've been here for 30 years and you've gotten nothing done. I've already done more than you. Good point. Well, she's back at it, trying to, pick another fight. We'll see if it goes better this time. Oh, by the way, Riding Dirty Llama says she. Oh, sorry, Riding Dirty. By the way, Riding Dirty Llama, if you're not a VIP yet, you're $150 away from VIP. We'll send you all the merch tonight. Up to you. $250, by the way, if you want to become a VIP. We send you the shirt, the hoodie, the mugs, 2 tickets to every live event we do, a free item of merch every year, all that shit. In fact, I think by the end of this week, we're going to start taking orders from the VIPs because I think everybody's got their stuff. I'm getting more and more emails throughout the day that people are getting their things. So let's go to the Pete Hegseth hearing on Capitol Hill today. The first little jaunt that he's got is with Betty McCollum. And with Betty McCollum, she is the congresswoman that I grew up with. She's been, I want to say that Betty McCollum has been the congresswoman in the district I grew up in for 30 years. So, we'll look up. How long has Betty McCollum been in there? I think she's been in there since at least 98. Betty McCollum, length of penis, congressional run. Betty McCollum, she assumed office January 3rd, 01. So she started in 2000. Because I was going to say, she's been where I grew up, the congresswoman there as long as I can remember. So she's been in there for 25 years. And she was talking to Pete Hegseth today, and she's, again, it's hot take central. And everybody doing these hot takes has to have some kind of comparison, Democrats want to compare shit that Republicans are doing to other bad shit to make them look bad. They all try to make each other look like hypocrites, which is not that hard. Betty McCollum was talking about 2020 to Pete Hegseth. Now, I don't know if the Democrats want to talk about the 2020 Minnesota riots I don't think Democrats don't want to have that conversation with Republicans because, as I recall, Democrats were in charge of Minnesota, state and local, and Trump was in the middle of the COVID thing and his popularity was taking a hit. He took no stance on Minnesota. He left it up to Walz and Mayor Fry, and that didn't go so well. So if you bring up George Floyd and you bring up 2020, you might be bringing up something that's going to give reason for people to think, well, maybe Trump should get involved because that George Floyd thing got way out of hand and the governor and mayor couldn't handle it. So let's go to this. We got Betty McCollum, my gal, and Pete Hegseth, the great signal messenger.
Mr. Secretary, we're both from Minnesota.
Oh,
I
shit,
was in
that's
the
right.
Twin Cities during the riots that followed the murder of George Floyd. Tens of thousands of protesters took to the streets for days. Governor Walz made the decision to call up the Minnesota National Guard. At no point did we need the citizens of Minnesota request that the Marines be deployed.
I mean, if you would have went down to some parts of Minnesota, especially in Minneapolis, and you would have asked like my parents lived, 10 miles, Shoreview's about 10 miles from Minneapolis. If you would have asked my parents, hey, do you think they should deploy the Marines down there? I bet you a lot of people in the north and south suburbs, especially the south suburbs, they're fucking pussies. Lakeville, Apple Valley, Edina, those cake-eating cunts, they would have been begging for the Marines. The north suburbs were a little more hardcore. We're the tough guys up in the, northwest suburbs. Those might be the tough guys. But the north suburbs, we're right up there with the tough guys.
Our state and local law enforcement, along with our National Guard, who have worked on crowd control, they were more than enough. They were more than capable of handling this situation.
What the fuck is this lady babbling about? 2020? We needed to bring the Guard in, and it still took a few days to settle everything down. I really don't. I seem to remember a precinct getting sacked.
History has proven that law enforcement and the National Guard are more than capable of handling situations more volatile than what happened this weekend.
What happened? What happened? I'm still seeing cars on fire. It ain't like there's a lot of people in LA working.
I'll see to continue.
Plus, a lot of these NGO groups, they're paying for this. They're paying people to be out there and protesting. So they can go ahead and miss work.
With loops on TV. But this looks nothing like the George Floyd protests or the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles in 1992. Mr. Secretary, this is a deeply unfair position to put our Marines in. Their service should be honored. It should not be exploited.
I'll say this. I agree with the Democrats on this. This might upset people. It's a bad look to put active duty military that's not the National Guard. It's a bad look to put active duty military inside our own borders, deployed in our own cities against Americans. I'm against it. I think it's a bad idea. I think it's Trump trying to flex and trying to humiliate Gavin Newsom. I think he's trying to cut Gavin Newsom by going, look, we need to send in federal troops to be able to, restore order in Los Angeles. I get the politics of it. I don't like the optics of sending the Marines out there against Americans. I hate that. I don't think it's good. I don't mind Trump going out there, going over Newsom's head and going, get the fucking Guard in there. Let's get this straightened out. But the Marines, Trump is a visuals guy, and that's a visual flex for him. And I don't think he cares the way like I do or maybe some other people do about how fucking bad that looks. All he wants to do is go, yeah, it shows strength. I'm a bad motherfucker. And now Gavin Newsom looks like a bitch in the cuck chair. I don't like, call me a pussy, call me a neocon or whatever. Actually, I think deploying the Marines against American citizens is kind of a neocon thing to do.
The president has...
Next thing you know, we'll be starting a war with Iran. And Mark Levin will be so happy.
issued an executive order and talked about deploying troops across the country. Los Angeles County has 17,000 law enforcement personnel.
Holy shit.
And the state of California has 24,000 National Guard troops. So that's why the Los Angeles Chief of Police to say, and I quote, "The possible arrival of federal military forces in Los Angeles is an absent a clear coordination, presents a significant logistical operational challenge for those of us who are charged with safeguarding the city," the end of his quote. As I mentioned before, in Minnesota, we train for those things together. So there's no need.
A lot of these big city police forces, though, were gutted after 2020. You know, a lot of them were either downsized and defunded, or policemen decided to leave because they didn't feel like they had the support of a big city like Minneapolis or Los Angeles. So these aren't the same, police forces of the last decade. These are very, very different. And these protests are very, very different. They're much more aggressive.
Need for the Marines to be deployed. So here are my budget questions, though.
Ooh, okay.
What is the current cost for what is taking place in California, and how is it going to affect this budget or the budget we're currently serving under?
Now, wait a minute, Betty. That's not a fair question. You and I both know that Republicans don't give a fuck about the budget as long as they're spending it on bombs, tanks, and soldiers. I mean, not soldiers after they get home. They don't like spending it on that. But look, we give Democrats enough shit on this show. One thing you can give Republicans shit for, they're all budget hawks. They don't want to spend any money when it comes to anybody here in America. But boy, when it comes to bombing shit or starting wars, they always seem to find they always seem to find a money chest somewhere. They dig in the cushions to start those wars.
How much are these deployments going to cost for both the Marines and the National Guard?
Too much. It's unnecessary.
And what training or duties are not taking place because of these deployments?
God, these people just
Where
mug
in
for the
your
camera.
limited budget, sir, are you going to find...
Like, she's already asked this question, but what she's doing now is she's doing this for her fundraising videos when she runs for her job again. Like, you already know what the question is, but she's got to, take up the whole 2 minutes and 30 seconds to ask it so she can show that she's busting balls and she's taking it to Pete Hegseth on the floor of the House. Now, won't you give us money?
Well, Congresswoman, thank you for the question. You are right. We are both originally from Minnesota, which is why I recall 2020 quite well.
I thought homeboy was from Nebraska. Shit. Do all of us Minnesotans look like Nebraskans to the rest of you? That sucks. Fuck. I made fun of him because he's like a Corn Belt yokel. You're telling me that he's one of a... Shit. You ever find out how not cool you are live on camera? It sucks a dick.
When Governor Walz abandoned a police precinct and allowed it to be burned to the ground.
Tell him, Pete.
And also allowed 5 days
sir,
of chaos
sir,
to occur inside the...
You got 2.5 minutes to fucking blather on and on. Yeah, he's saying something that's inconvenient. He's saying something that makes your people look like shit. Shut up.
streets of Minneapolis. The police precinct, ma'am, was abandoned and burned to the ground. And because of that, the National Guard was eventually far too late mobilized.
Yes, correct.
And President Trump recognizes a situation like that, improperly handled by a governor, like it was by Governor Walz, if it gets out of control, is a bad situation for the citizens of any location.
That is a fucking phenomenal point. And this is what I mean by, like, Betty McCollum really stepped in shit by, oh, Ryan the Garbage Man tells me Pete Hegseth grew up in Forest Lake. Betty McCollum stepped in shit by bringing up George Floyd because that sets the Trump administration up to go, yeah. And maybe if the Trump administration would have stepped in and sent the National Guard in a few days before, it could have saved property, money, and lives. So I don't think the Democrats should be bringing up the George Floyd riots in Minnesota as an example of, hey, tell Trump to leave LA alone. It's fine. I don't think anybody who watched, who either lived it here in Minnesota, saw the results since in person, or people who watched it across the country, I don't think that they would recommend that be the standard way to handle unrest. If you were a Democrat, you got to be careful. You can't say, hey, Trump doesn't need to send in the National Guard, does he? And the rest of America go, no, he doesn't. It can be like the George Floyd riots again. And whoa, well, you know, maybe a couple of National Guard troops might not be so bad.
So in Los Angeles, we believe that ICE, which is a federal law enforcement agency, has the right to safely conduct operations in any state and any jurisdiction in the country.
Right. I mean, sanctuary laws are fine if you don't want your local police to assist ICE, but you can't stop them from coming in. Those are federal workers, and it is federal laws they are enforcing. They have a right to enforce federal immigration law no matter what jurisdiction they're in.
Especially after 21 million illegals have crossed our border under the previous administration.
God damn.
ICE.
Remember when W was president and they were talking about 9 million illegals? They were like, holy shit, what is this country going to do with almost 10 million illegal immigrants? We're like, motherfucker, how are we going to settle that? And now, not 20 million in the country, 20 million just coming in the last 4 years. Holy shit.
Ought be able to do its job, whether it's Minneapolis or
Chairman,
Los
I have
Angeles.
limited time. I asked a budget
And they are
question.
being-
Could the secretary please address the budget? Thank you.
You asked about the situation in Los Angeles, and we believe
Asked about
ICE
the budget.
agents should be
I
allowed to be
asked about
safe
the budget,
in doing
sir.
their operations, and we have deployed National Guard and the Marines to protect them in the execution of their duties, because we ought...
Hey, imagine that. At a Washington, D.C. hearing, a congressperson took forever to ask a shitty question, and the other guy filibustered and never answered it. Weird. It's almost like I've seen one of these before.
be able to enforce immigration law in this country, unlike what government...
What's funny about that is we did use federal troops to enforce integration laws in this country. So integration, all made by the federal government.
Governor Waltz did in 2020. There are 17,000 LAPD, you mentioned that. There would be 18,000 if not for the defund movement
Yep, there
that
you
folks
go.
like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have
Chairman,
implemented.
If
The police
if-
chief
if,
said
Mr.
she was
Chairman, if
overwhelmed,
the secretary's not
so we
going to
helped.
ask the budgetary questions, I will yield back my time if the secretary refuses to answer the budgetary questions I put before him. They're important. What training missions aren't happening? Where are you pulling the money from? And how are you planning this in the moving forward? These are budget questions that affect.
He might as well just go, blah, 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 blah. This is you. That's about what we get out of these hearings. Is we get the congressperson putting on a fucking tiara and a dress going, la-di-da, aren't I a truth teller to the powers that be? And then the powers that be that are answering the question go, this is you. That's about, I gotta say, it's about as idiocracy as it gets, one of these hearings, because nobody's operating out of in a genuine way. Everyone's just trying to one-up the other person. That's about it. Let's go to Riding Dirty Llama says, well, the state popo are not doing anything because of Newsom allowing the terror to happen. You know, I'm surprised Newsom doesn't crack down on this thing because, like, he's got to make that turn to the right at some point because he wants to be president. And if you want to be president, the United States is not California. You know, we don't want a bunch of stinky, homeless drug addicts on the sidewalk and a bunch of people setting cars on fire on a Tuesday because they ain't got shit to do but protest. So you'd think that kind of laying the hammer down on that deal is what a future president would want to do. Bapa Shab says you can do an entire show with a black cube taped to your head and black tape around your arm. I think the Jews call it tefliflin. That was a Jew thing, and I didn't pick up on it because you guys are fucking obsessed. You're fucking obsessed. Das Optic Nerve says the northern Midwest is just one giant state to the rest of us. Oh, shit. So Pete Hegseth is just a minute. Okay. Sam Show says this show is basically you putting on a tiara and shoving a cake up your ass. It's a fair point. Bob's Last Smoke says, hey, dummy, go look at the population chart for the U.S. You're off by about 18 million. I didn't say anything. I said what Pete Hegseth said. Pete Hegseth said 20 some odd million illegal immigrants came into the country in the last 4 years. So Bob's Last Smoke, I know you got to come in and show that you ain't scared of no streamers and you got to come in hitting hard, but you also have to try not to be retarded, buddy, all right? You got this. I believe in you. Papa Shab says Newsom is too busy tweeting to do anything. That's not true. He also hosts a podcast. Das Optic Nerve says, how many rolls of tape would Aaron need to tape something to his forehead? Now, how is that? Guys, how are we helping? That's what I ask you. How are we helping when we say things like that? It's not kind. It's not nice. It's just hurtful. Are we here to hurt feelings? I thought we were here to be friends. All right, 160 away from tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. There it is. Let's get in there and start knocking this thing out. We don't have very far to go, so just start banging away at it little by little, and we'll get this whole thing hammered out. Thank you guys very, very much for your generosity. All right, so the other clip I have is Pete Hegseth talking to Rosa DeLauro. Now, you might not know Rosa DeLauro by name, but Rosa DeLauro was the woman with the crazy fucking blue and pink hair who's like 60-some years old. And she was talking to RFK Jr., and she was like trying to give him the business and trying to shit on him and be like, I've been here for 30 years. And he's like, yeah, you've been here for 30 years trying to do shit on health, and I've done more than you have in 3 months. Oh, well, this crazy bitch is going to talk to Pete Hegseth about his plan for, not only LA, but the Defense Department in general. And I just tell you what, man, I get a kick out of her no matter what she's talking about, because she looks like something out of a DreamWorks movie. I mean, she looks like a Shrek villain. Let's go ahead and watch this. Her and Pete Hegseth.
But getting the specific information about where we stand, what the production rate is, what gaps there may be. We're willing to listen to all of that because...
And by the way, totally not a billboard for term limits in the Senate. I mean, she is hunched over. She's just, her face is wearing away on camera. She can barely hold her head up. I don't think we'd be better served by somebody younger, a little more spry, with maybe a little more energy. No. We got to have her with those giant, thick glasses, just looking at papers and hunched over. She's the way to go. She's the future of this country.
In fact, in contrast to what your earlier statement was, we have, in fact, supported mightily the submarine industrial base from this committee. That has not been neglected. Do you have a plan for making the investments necessary to ramp up submarine production to the necessary elections?
Listen to this. You guys, this is the funniest part about watching I know they can be boring or whatever, but they really do teach you that we have no choices in this country. Listen to her. DeLauro, Democrat, super duper libtard. You would think the one thing the libs that we'd like about the libs is they'd want to, easy on the military industrial complex, cool it on the military spending. Peace, baby. We thought, they'd be hippies. But if you think that you've got a choice between Coke and Pepsi versus Coke and Diet Coke, let this be your answer. This woman's sitting there going, hey, why aren't we spending more money on fucking submarines? All the submarine warfare we've been doing the last few years. We need to make sure we don't have enough submarines. I mean, we've been launching all the missiles from all the submarines every single day. We ain't got enough submarines. We've probably only got like 500 submarines more than the next 3 countries combined on the list. So we got to spend more money on these goddamn... this is what I mean. Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter, because on the big issues, their answer is just more. Even Trump and his big, beautiful bill, just spending a fuck ton of money, $1 trillion a year on our big, shiny military, that we have to attack countries that don't even do anything to us in order to actually use. And now this lady, you would think a blue-haired Democrat would be like, why don't we spend some of our military budget on roses for trans people? And instead, she's like, why aren't we building fucking nuke subs, bitch? It's like, we really don't have anybody who's going to speak out against military spending.
Just tell you,
they all want money from Boeing and Lockheed Martin.
Part of the December continuing resolution, Congress included
What the fuck is this jewelry she's with? Jesus Christ, this person is an embarrassment.
$5.7 billion for the department to put on contract for 2 additional Block 4 and 1 Block 5 Virginia-class submarines. The Navy advised...
How about a super hippie-looking liberal lady with blue hair talking about Virginia-class and Triton class and LA class, all these different submarines, like she's reading a fucking Tom Clancy novel. This is where our country's at. Our blue-haired Bettys, our blue-haired hippies are talking about how we need more war subs.
Members that these funds were required to be placed on contract.
Oh, that's why. Connecticut. They've probably got naval docks, Atlantic docks in Connecticut, and they get a piece of that. Nice.
By February of 2025. Yet the department did not put funding for the 2 additional Block 4 boats on contract until April 30th. So do we have...
So, horseshit. Come on. You know Connecticut needs those nuclear submarines. What if we need to launch cruise missiles at Portugal? God, it's like you guys don't care about the troops.
A plan, do you have a plan for making the necessary investments to ramp up submarine production to the necessary levels? And what is that plan?
Ma'am, first of all, I want to thank this committee for the flexibility alongside FY25 and the continued resolution.
Well, I would hope you would thank this committee for the funding that it had made. We have made a serious investment.
Jeez.
So
could you let him, like, again, let him answer the fucking question.
Your first statement is inaccurate. We have focused squarely on submarines, and we're now want to know where that is going and what your plan is for the continued advancements to meet production levels.
Hold on. I'm done with her anyway. I'm curious about something. Submarine base in Connecticut. Oh, look at that. Base New London. Naval Submarine Base New London in New London County, Connecticut. Oh. I mean, for a minute there, I just thought this bitch was really into submarines. I thought maybe she was an admiral in her old professional life. Oh, it turns out that they got a giant submarine base in Connecticut. I was like, why the fuck is she all balls deep in the submarine cause all of a sudden? Oh, Base New London in Connecticut. Das Optic Nerve says, why is she cupping the mic? She's 82 fucking years old. As far as she's concerned, these just got made last week. She's still figuring out how to use them. 82 years old. And she's in there in Congress just barely holding her fucking head up. God damn. So it, like, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter who you vote for. The military's getting their money, baby. They're getting their dough. Isn't it great to know that you live in a country where, hey, you got the illusion of choice, right? Thank you very much, Gray Duckling, for the $2. He simply says, pussy. And, of course, that $2 along with numero uno and Miss Tay brings us down to $155 for tonight. Thank you guys very much. Consider throwing $5, $10, whatever, a gifted membership or two, whatever you want to do. At the toe. While you're at it, throw in a like, a subscribe, what have you. We appreciate it. Oh, no. What the fuck is this? Ryan the Garbage Man sent me, so I don't give a fuck about Awake Jimmy. Why do you do that to me during the show? He sent me a picture of a guy who wrapped his head in plastic as though I'm going to do something with that for the show. Fucking hell, Ryan. God damn it, Matt, you know better. All right, 155 away from today. Let's get into something that puts you folks in a generous mood. Let's watch some gay pornography. Something else. Let's do something else. Let's go to our last LA story we have. Then we have a great lesson in how not to get ahead of something. Remember last week we did that story about that neo-Nazi white nationalist organization that got busted, and they showed the place where they raided, and they had an SS and a swastika flag up on the wall, but it had all the brand new creases in it. And we're like, yeah, it totally isn't a Fed job at all. The Feds totally didn't stage this room with a bunch of guns and brand new, freshly folded, creased flags just so they could bust it and justify their budget. Totally didn't do that. Well, at the LA riots, the protesters were getting all kinds of shit for having Mexican flags. You know, because the whole thing is, hey, don't deport these illegals. Don't deport these illegals. Meanwhile, they're all flying Mexican flags. It's like, why are you fighting us? We're trying to send you there. If you love it so much, here you go. I'll send you to the place where those flags are okay. So whatever Soros or Klaus Schwab organizations were funding and running these protests decided this week that maybe the Mexican flags are a bad look. Let's get some American flags in there. Let's show a little patriotism, and maybe we'll get some people on our side. Maybe it's not too late. Let's watch this video. You guys tell me what you notice about the flag that they're flying as part of the protest. Let's put this up in the corner. There we go.
Are you going to... We got rid of all of them when they started coming. We were sitting ducks here, so we...
Get ready. You'll get another close-up.
We got 5 or 6 out.
If you ask the Subaru right there...
But they're not put together.
Anti-Trump social club, all in rainbow. Yeah, because when I think of Latinos from Central America, they're all really pro-LGBTQ.
Oh, they're not put
They're
together?
not put together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was a good idea.
Right.
We're going to bring them back out.
We're going to bring them back out after.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might be back out in an hour.
Yeah.
They're marching from this. They're going to start coming this
Yeah.
way.
I think that was a good idea after yesterday.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you guys.
Right on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Where'd you get the American flag? Down from Wait, where? He just handed it to me because I was on the top. It's like a random guy. Oh, all right.
So he says, where'd you get that random flag? He says, some guy was just handing them out. So the people who are funding these protests decided it was a bad look to have all these Mexican flags. So they decided to hand out American flags. Well, the problem is a lot of these American flags still have the fucking creases in them. Just like the FBI Nazi flags, they literally just ripped them out of plastic and then just started flying them. Not because they're great patriots or anything, but because the people who paid for these protests went, oh shit, we're getting all kinds of crap online for not flying any American flags. Quick, run to Home Depot, buy a few American flags. We'll break them out of the packaging and you guys go fly them. And, shake them around a little bit, loosen them up. They look a little stiff and folded.
Looking for these flags? Where did you get this?
Around the corner, they have a bench.
Okay, are they just giving them out?
Yeah, they're just giving them out. Because these are just, these protests just happened sporadically. They just happened out of the blue. Everyone decided that what you should do is we should all just go protest on this same day. Everybody, it's that they're not organizing and running the whole thing at all. Yeah, Riding Dirty Llama says bulk flags shipped in from Amazon, Wish, and Alibaba. Exactly. Rusty Grammer says Aaron has an entire room full of Nazi memorabilia. It's behind one of the doors that are behind the camera. I'm jealous, considering I am Adolf's great nephew. I don't have a bunch of. I have my coin. I have my Nazi coin collect. And by the way, I have 2 Nazi coins in my collection. The rest in my collection are passed down from my grandfather, and most of them are totally American. Totally American coins. I got 2 Nazi coins, and it's just kind of cool, 191 Redbird with $5 says, did you see the pallets of gas masks showing up? I did see those. Yeah, it's these random protests that just break out because people are really, really passionate. They all seem to just have pallets of shit show up, American flags, gas masks, bricks, Seems they always have everything they need. Like the Hunger Games. It just airdrops in a gift pack every once in a while. Thank you very much for that $5, Redbird. An even $150 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much for your contributions. Keep them coming. Let's see if we can't, as the evening show has been known to do, just slowly chip away at this thing over time. Hey, before we go into our next story, which is going to be mighty controversial, before we go into this, why don't we hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, all of that stuff. Why don't we wish Crunchy a happy birthday? Did you guys know it's Crunchy's birthday today? Happy birthday to Crunchy. God bless. You know, we've had people like MSO for the longest time talking about how Crunchy's dead or Crunchy's in rehab or whatever. Not the case. Crunchy is alive and well. It's Crunchy's birthday today. So make sure if you see Crunchy either in the chat or you see her anywhere today, you wish Crunchy a very, very happy birthday. God bless. All right. I'm tired of pretending. I haven't really talked about it all week. I'm tired of pretending that friend of the show and friend of mine, Keanu C. Thompson, doesn't have a very big interview coming up this week with Gabe Hoffman. Sam Show, stop it. Gabe Hoffman, hedge fund manager, investigative journalist, part of the team that brought down Bryan Singer, the X-Men director. Well, Gabe has set his sights on some accusations. Now, it's very important to note, Gabe Hoffman did not make these accusations that he's going to come out with on Thursday. Gabe Hoffman was told about these allegations. They caught his attention. He is investigating them. He's talking to a whole wide range of people, and he's getting all his ducks in a row before he goes on Keanu's show on Thursday. The allegations are about Nick Rekieta. Now, my good, close, former personal friend, the talented law tuber without a law license, Nick Rekieta. Now, Gabe has never been pro or anti-Nick Rekieta, never really ran in those circles, you know? Gabe just heard some shit, thought it sounded like an interesting story, started digging around, realized there was some there, developed a clear distaste for Mr. Rekieta based on these things he was hearing, and decided he was going to drop this bombshell report, what he knows, on Keanu Thompson's channel. Now, obviously, the reason he's doing it on Keanu's channel is because Nick has a very serious woman problem. He has a problem with women, as we've seen in his recent behavior. And Keanu is one of the women who have completely set him off by removing control from him, telling him things about April that he didn't want to hear, that April claimed Nick was abusive. Nick also didn't like to hear that April said I was not abusive. That kind of wrecked his whole gimmick. But Gabe decided he's going to go on Keanu Thompson's show on Thursday night. And I would like to have Gabe and Keanu on the show Thursday morning to promote this, but we can deal with that later. Now, nobody really knows what Gabe's going to talk about. Gabe has not said that he's going to talk about any one particular thing. What it could be is anybody's guess. We're going to find out on Thursday. Now, Nick really shouldn't know what Gabe Hoffman is going to talk about because Gabe Hoffman is probably not in contact with Nick Rekieta, although he might get a shower call. Either way, Nick decides to go on his live stream today and say, now remember, he's supposed to be covering this Karen Reed trial. He's, people who are watching trials, the 900 to 1,000 people who aren't watching Nick right now, they want to watch coverage of a trial. They don't want to hear the sad, depressing, downward spiral of a life that Nick Rekieta is leading. But Nick just can't help but tattle on himself. Nick has a very bad history of doing two things: obfuscating the truth, flat out lying, and telling on himself, either through projection or talking too much, or showing up on camera with cocaine on his nose. So Nick goes on today and he has this brilliant idea. Whatever Gabe Hoffman is doing, he's going to get ahead of it. Now, that's not usually a terrible idea. I was blackmailed. I was threatened about drugs and things like that. So, they could go to my ex-wife and they could, tell my family and my kids about it. So I said, all right, I'll just come out with it. If you're telling me that, if I don't keep my mouth shut, this could happen, well, then I'm going to sing like a canary and I'm going to say what I know. Fine. Cool. If you know what the thing is, if it's been said ahead of time and you know what it's going to be about, it's not a bad idea to get out in front of it, give some proper context, tell the story, give all the different sides and give a complete, that way it can kind of blunt the edge of what's coming out. What you don't do is try to get ahead of something that nobody's putting out there. It's insane. I mean, it's got to be brain damage. The years of drinking and cocaine and the whippets and the ketamine and all this, that brain's got to look like Chris Benoit's at this point. So Nick decides he's going to get ahead out of the thing that nobody knows what Gabe Hoffman's going to talk about. Nick comes out and goes, guys, this Gabe Hoffman's going to come out and say that I abuse my family, that I'm an abusive guy, that I've hit my kids, that I'm abusive. Guys, it's totally not true. You got to believe me. And it's like everybody is looking around going, Gabe never said that he was talking about you being abusive. You know, it's like if you just came out in front of a family function and you went, guys, why would there be heroin under my bed? There's no heroin under my bed or in my closet or in the tea kettle. There would never be heroin in those places. So whoever says that is lying to you. And they'd go, none of us said that you had heroin. Do you have heroin somewhere? We don't. None of us said that you have heroin. You've got fucking heroin somewhere. So Gabe Hoffman has never said that he's going to be going on Keanu's show to talk about abuse and Nick being hitty and smacky, right? So Nick comes out and volunteers this information. He goes, Gabe's going to come out there and say that I'm hitting and I'm abusing and I'm knocking teeth out and I'm backhanding and smacking around. Now, I know that's kind of hard to believe because Nick's a giant fucking pussy that probably any one of us could backhand and he'd cry. But he says that Gabe's going to come out with these allegations and like almost does a commercial. He's like, Gabe's going to come out Thursday night on Keanu's show and he's going to talk about me being a one hitty, abusive, spastic son of a bitch. And he's like, and it's not true, guys. You got to believe me. I'm not a hitting guy. And you're looking around going, nobody said that you were a hitting guy yet. You're not. And like, again, when you get ahead of something, you get ahead of something by providing the proper context, by telling the proper story. You don't get ahead of something by instructing everyone what the thing is and then going, there's no thing. Nikki, baby, these things don't just fall out of the fucking sky. These things don't come from nowhere. You know, generally, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if there's stories of you being abusive, it doesn't mean technically that you're abusive, but it does mean there's a story to tell. And you should probably tell if you're going to get ahead of it, you should probably tell your side of the story. A blanket denial of anything. We've watched enough politics. We've watched enough music and movies and television and real life scandals to know that when you get ahead of something by flat out denying it, you're probably the liar. There's probably something to it, you know? And going out and getting ahead of the story by saying, here's what the guy's going to talk about, even though the guy hasn't said that. And he's totally full of shit, even though the guy didn't come into this with an opinion. He's just gathering data. I mean, this is an airbrained, airheaded, brain-damaged, I mean, there is not a PR person in the world who would advise you to get ahead of something this way. So Gabe Hoffman responds to this on Twitter today in, I think, the way you respond to these kind of things by saying, thank you for the promotion, Rekieta Law. Glad to see you're totally not worried about Thursday night with Keanu C. Thompson, or you wouldn't have felt the need to address what you think my investigation has revealed. That's just it. Gabe hasn't said word one. Nobody has said word one about what Gabe's coming out with. The best thing to do. Now, this means Nick knows something is out there. This means that Nick knows there's something credible going on, and he's trying to bury it. That is not getting ahead of it. That's trying to cover up in plain sight. What Nick should have done is shut his fucking mouth, let Gabe come out with his shit, and then Nick goes, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Are you insane? We're going to go through each one of these things he said one by one, and we're going to clear the air. I mean, now he just basically said Gabe Hoffman's got something. He's going to come out with it, but who are you going to believe? Him, me, or your lying eyes? I mean, really fucking stupid. Not only that, you just gave Gabe Hoffman and Keanu Thompson a giant commercial for this entire thing. I mean, it really is something. And then while we've been on the show, some news broke. This is from Scarebro on Twitter. Says Gabe Hoffman wishes to speak with Legal Mindset, stating allegations regarding Rekieta are not sexual in nature. Small mercies, take them where you can. So Gabe wants to talk to Legal Mindset. So Gabe is still out there gathering information and getting data, 48 hours before he goes on with Keanu. So I gotta say, this is that is really a fucking retarded way to handle so. Guys, if you're ever wondering how to, quote, get ahead of something, don't ever do it that way. don't ever try to get, quote unquote, get ahead of something by saying what the thing is before anyone else has and then denying it. Like that woman who blackmailed Kevin Hart. She said, give me $10 million or I'm going to release this sex tape. If Kevin Hart would have come out and said, guys, there's a woman, she says, give me $10 million or I'm going to release our sex tape. I got to let you guys know there is no sex tape. Well, now what happens when that woman comes out and just drops the fucking sex tape? Now you look like a dipshit and a liar. That's what Nick's done. What you do instead is you should have gone, here's what he's going to talk about. These are specific situations. Here's what actually happened. I'm really embarrassed. I feel bad. It's not as tawdry. It's not as scandalous as he's going to make it sound. Here's my side of it. And that might blunt some of it because you've given the spoiler alert. Now all you've done is made people really curious to find out how big of a piece of shit you are. Spoiler alert, pretty big. Nefarious says Keanu might not allow that unless it's going to bring viewers to her channel. What do you mean? She's having Gabe on the program. It's done. It's set up. Sam Show says we have to pray they both don't royally fuck up the delivery by making it about themselves. I think Gabe's a pro. I think it'll be pretty easy to handle. Wally World says, who was blackmailing you? People were blackmailing me. McBuster says, Kiki was on BYB Melton Bitchcast with Looney Lemming, Lady KB, I don't know who Lady K, like K, the what do you call it? The body cam girl, and Whitney Cummings' sister. Oh, I can't think of anything I can't think of anything I'd want to listen to less, quite frankly. Dub says, when German POWs arrived in USA camps, the servings of food were far larger than they were accustomed to. Hence, the highest-ranking POWs ordered that whatever you cannot finish off plate of food, you are to place in pocket to throw away. What the fuck does that have to do with cocksucking anything? Thank you, Dub. McBuster says, Nick likes to bully women. Clearly, we all saw it live. Oh, brother, you have no idea. You have no idea. RPG TV says it's bullshit. Any woman could kick Nick's ass. While that's true, there are some children who might not be able to. That might be an issue. RPG TV says, Gabe, no. What did Gabe do? Gabe's not doing anything wrong. He's just following the story. That's all he's doing. End of Silence says, yeah, I only watched him on the Rittenhouse trial. And then when the toe had his sexcapades, I wish there was a Wikipedia to outline this fucking dumpster fire. Well, I mean, follow court documents, I guess. Taste Fairy Ialto says it's going to be all about how Nick lied about liking anime. Wouldn't it be like the funniest thing? I mean, it would make a lot of people really mad, but the funniest thing that Gabe Hoffman could possibly do is now make this completely innocuous and be like, Nick's got unpaid parking tickets. And now everyone's going to be like, wait, Nick, what are you talking about with these accusations of abuse and all this shit? He's saying that you just got some parking tickets you haven't paid, you know? We know Nick got pulled over near Stoney's for having no tabs on his car, but I mean, I don't think that's the big drop. It would be great if it had nothing to do with abuse and Nick just outed himself on that and then denied it. And it's like, it's not what anybody's talking about. I'm not sure what this means. Nefarious says, I saw that a while ago. I'm worried Keanu won't come on your show Thursday morning. I hope Keanu... Why wouldn't she? Wally World says, is Keanu going to be safe for the anniversary show? Yeah, she could kick Nick's ass. Bapa Shab says, this is Keanu's opportunity to monkey branch to a rich Jew and leave the WAP trash can salesman. Hey, you leave my buddy Gino alone. He's just fine. You couldn't sell trash cans the way he does. You couldn't be the same kind of trash can salesman. Now, the rest of these comments are just, I mean, this is really just Nick bullying at this point. Das Optic Nerve, Nick has the stature of a shaky ladder. Papa Shab, Nick has the look of a Polish peasant from 1470. End of Silence, Nick has the body of an 80-year-old crackhead. Nick's shoes look like my used Swiffer pads. Thank you, guys. You know, that's all so kind of you. I don't mean to brag. I'm not trying to come in here and tell you guys, you know, how fucking great I am or anything like that. But I've made a whopping $10 since the show started. I've made a whopping $10. What the fuck you gonna do about it, Capone? $150 away from tonight's goal. I appreciate it. If you feel like contributing, oh boy, is that just a goddamn sweetheart pumpkin patch thing of you to do. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Hit like, hit share, hit follow, hit subscribe. And let's see if we can't pull off some crazy numbers tonight. I know the evening shows have definitely been down since summer started. And I don't take that personally. That's a normal thing. Yeah, we're just under 300 at the moment. Actually, I don't know because I don't know what's on Twitter right now. We started that tonight, but maybe we're at our usual 350 to 400, but it's been down. Yesterday it was down. Today it's down a little bit. Yeah, shit happens. You don't take it personally. All we care about, what is life on Steel Toe? The goal is life. We hit the goal. It doesn't matter if there's 1 million or 10. As long as we hit the goal, we're happy. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Get in there. Throw in a couple of bucks to the toe, and let's see if we can't make something happen tonight. I mean, my God, I've been dancing like a monkey, going crazy, sweating up a storm, just dancing on standing on my head for you guys. Go to work. We appreciate it. Let's go into some Minnesota stuff, seeing as that's probably who's here tonight. Our Minnesota people, our locals, the Steel Toe OGs are probably here tonight, numbers-wise. Let's talk a little bit about the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey. You're not going to believe this. I have a story of him being a really, really giant pussy. I know, right? I told you, you're not going to believe it, but he's got more police reforms. And it's going to be more police reforms about how Minnesota doesn't have to comply with federal police, doesn't have to comply with the federal government, basically more sanctuary city type of shit. By the way, did you see, you remember last week when the FBI and ICE showed up in Minnesota? And all those people got on the streets and they were protesting, abolish ICE, fuck these guys. And the cops were throwing them out of the way and shit. And then it turns out they weren't even there for immigration purposes. Well, guess what they ended up finding? they ended up finding 900 pounds of meth. And just for good measure, Scarface posters. They found Scarface posters and 900 pounds of meth in the search. So all of those people who were gathering on the streets, all of those white people with septum piercings who were gathering on the streets of Minneapolis and raising all kinds of holy hell because the big bad bullies in ICE were there to take away all their Mexican friends. It actually turns out that they were trying to clear their community of drugs like methamphetamine. I tell you, these jackbooted Nazi thugs, they just got to go. They're coming here. They're lining our streets of our once beautiful cities, and they're doing despicable things like cleaning the place out of meth. I've never seen such evil in my day. To watch these jackbooted thugs walk into our cities and just take away all the meth and the Mexican meth dealers. What gives them the right to alienate us like that? Wally World with $10. Thank you very much, Wally World, for your contribution. We appreciate that over there on Rumble. Keep it up, guys. Let's have everybody do what Wally World just did. That makes our job a lot easier. 140 away from tonight. Let's get moving. It doesn't take much here in the evening show, that's for sure. Just a few more of those, and we'll be all straightened away. Rusty Grammer says, where's Tampon Timmy? I'm sure he's having a massive parasocial struggle, coping with the toe, stacking wins day in and day out. But Tim Walls? I don't think Tim Walls cares that I'm smacking around a bunch of internet nobodies. I'd love to think that. I'd love to think that Tim Walls is like, the toe hit his goal again. But color me skeptical. Dub says it's so much meth that it outweighs Aaron. Oh, my God. Thanks. That's really nice.
Fuck off. Fuck you.
Yeah. Asshole. Papa Shab says Nick's guy got detained by ICE. Damn it. Dub says maybe Nick can switch from nitrous to methamphetamines. What's healthier? A sandwich, more than likely. That would probably be the healthiest option, but hey, I ain't your pappy. I ain't in charge. I'm not making your meal plans. Try carbo loading, gives you a little bit of energy. God, imagine for the next, he looks like shit on all his live streams. He looks tired and haggard because he's up all night hitting on women on Twitter and flirting with them like a 14-year-old. So he's up all night. He looks like shit and disheveled all day. It's like, and then you can't do crack. Think about that. Think about before you start attacking Nick Rekieta and you start calling him a piece of shit, before you start calling him an abuser, before you start calling him a narcissist, before you start calling him a stupid junkie, before you start calling him a useless waste of space, before you start calling him a dipshit Nepo baby, before you start calling him a fake lawyer who's never accomplished anything on his own, before you call him someone who's only been propped up by the good graces of others, before you call him any of those things, remember that this is a guy who, when he gets up in the morning and he's feeling like shit and he's greasy and he's unshaved and he hasn't slept very well, he can't even fire up the crack pipe and, get a little boost. I don't know about you guys, but my granddaddy taught me to have some empathy. And when a guy's, 4.5 years, well, not even 4.5 years, 4 years and 10 months away from being able to have a sweet hit of crack, or a little freebase or whatever, you got to have a little bit of sympathy with something like that. And especially with all these meth dealers being kicked out of town. Das Optic Nerve says Nick is a piece of shit abuser Nepo baby like that. Yeah, before you say something like that, try to walk a mile in his crack rock shoes. Just try a little bit of empathy. And then, only then, should you be calling him those names. All right, 140 away from today's goal. I get it. I'll move on. I'm not making any money doing this shit. This is all just for me. This is all me just stroking myself. That's all this is. We're going to get into some other stuff here, and hopefully we're going to knock out tonight's goal. I do have to let you know that I did make it out on the golf course today. I did. I made it out on the golf course. I went to, it was my first round this year that I played at Rich Springs. I actually went to Rich Springs in Cold Spring, and I fired off a round today, and holy shit, it didn't go well. This year, I'm on my trek to shoot under 90. My last 2 rounds, I've shot, I think, a 93 and a 94. So I've gotten really, really close, right? Today, you're probably wondering, Aaron, what was your score? My score was so bad, I tore up my scorecard after the 17th hole, and I tossed it in the garbage. I went, I ain't keeping this one. I'm not. No, thank you. And then I realized, I worry about playing bogey golf. I'm like, I got to play bogey golf if I want to break 90, right? Bogey golf, you can fuck up 2 shots, and you can still bogey. But then after the 18th hole, it hit me. It's like, hey, man, quit trying to worry about bogey on every hole. Just get a 5 on every hole. 5 everything. And you might say, well, Aaron, and when you hit a par 5, getting a 5 is going to be pretty tough. Right. But getting a 5 or under on a par 3 is very, very easy. So it all kind of balances it out. So if I can just 5 the whole thing, that's what we're going to be shooting for. But today, it didn't go well. Got through the course quick, like 2 hours and change. But, oh, Aaron, come on, ballpark it. Honestly, dude, it was my worst round of the year. 102, and honestly, there were a couple holes where I picked up putts that I probably shouldn't have. I'm going to say 105, probably what I would have shot. It was a bad round. I couldn't drive. My driver kept skipping the ground before I hit the ball. Like, all my mechanics were off. I just had a shit day. I don't know my upper body was moving too much in my backswing and coming forward. It's just a bad day, man. And I think if I would have kept score all the way throughout, probably between 102 and 105 for today's round. And it started with a 3-putt on a par 4 and an 8. Ugh. It was really, really bad. Now, you might be saying, Aaron, who gives a shit? Why are we talking about your golf game? Well, here's what I figure. I ain't making any money kicking ass, taking names, and giving you good content and being funny and being witty and all that stuff. I ain't making any money doing that tonight. I made a whopping $20 since I've been here. So I figure I'll just talk about what I want to talk about, and at least that way, if I bore the fuck out of everybody and everybody leaves, at least I did it intentionally. If I'm going to fail, at least I should make it look like I'm trying to. Being 140 away and really giving it and burning through all your prep shit. Oof. That's going to stink. That's going to be fucking horrible. But if you sit here and you talk about your golf game and you talk about your 18 holes that you shot today, then it makes it look like you're trying to lose by 140. So, there's a strategy to this shit. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I'll keep going. I'll keep trying. We'll give you a good show. Hopefully it all works out. It's happening too often lately. The show's not hitting. What do you do? Let's go to another Asmund Gold. I've been grabbing more and more Asmund Gold clips lately. I got to tell you, when I first saw clips of Asmund, I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand why people like him so much, why he's such a big deal. The more I watch of him, and maybe it's because I'm watching him shit on Hassan Piker, the more I'm like, man, this guy's good. This guy, I get why people like. Not only are his takes, pretty decent. People say he's kind of a fence walker and he has easy hot takes. I get that. I can see that. But he's got a likable personality. There's nothing unlikable about the guy. He's just some geeky gamer dude. That's harmless. Oh, here we go. Look, I made money talking about golf. I think we might keep talking about golf. Maybe I had it all wrong. CJ with a $5 says you take gimmies and mulligans. Nah, not mulligans, gimmies, but mulligans, no. Play by the rules if you're counting personal records. Play stakes and all rules, or it's fake. Break 90 properly. I'm always going to take gimmies. If it's between the putter and the start of the handle, I'm picking it up. That's the way I'm playing it, man. Fuck that noise. You know how frustrated I'm going to get? You know how frustrated most golfers get if they got to tap in everything? You miss one of those, you might as well fucking cut a tree down with your putter. Everybody I know, to a man, picks it up inside of about a foot and a half. Some people 2 feet. That's a bit rich. Everybody I know, without fail, no matter how technical or how amazing or awesome they are, they pick them up. Also, I think if you lip one, if you keep the flag in and you like lip one and the flag interfere with it, I think you can pick the next one up. I do. That's what I believe. That's my thoughts on the game. Motherfucker, I ain't getting paid to golf. So I'll pick up a gimme putt. Oh, come on, break 90 properly. You think I'm doing this for the fucking love of the game? I'm doing this to put a good score on the card and beat my personal best. I will pick up a fucking gimme putt. Look, if you're telling me, hey, man, you're playing for money and you gotta, your score is going to count how much money you win, all right, I'll putt everything in, no gimmies. But fuck you. I mean, I was playing with a buddy one time, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get around this tree because I was like right behind a tree. He looks at me, and he's a big-time golfer. He goes, motherfucker, we're not playing for money. Kick it out. I'm like, yeah, and take a stroke, right? No. He said, you're not playing for money. We're having fun. Kick the fucking ball out. Let's play golf. I'm like, I like this. So here's Asmongold talking about the LA rioters a little more. And old Asmon is, Asmon's pretty based on what we should do to the protesters. A lot of people are, their big thing is, if they're blocking the street, we ought to take them down and arrest them. Asmongold decided to go one step further than that.
A good spot. Yeah, the best spot to shoot somebody at is not shooting them. But if you would, that's it. Shooting legs is hard. Yeah, it definitely is. And I as I said again, I totally think lethal force is completely okay. I'm totally justified in it, or I think they're totally justified in it. So yeah, but anyway,
he's talking about the rioters who are on the street and throwing rocks and being violent and shit. He's saying, yeah, lethal force. Go for it. If they're throwing bricks, if they're throwing rocks, if they're fucking shit up, shoot them. Could you imagine if Asmongold was in charge? Holy shit. There'd never be a dull night on the news. Fucking President of the United States standing by the National Guard as they mow down brick-throwing protesters. Holy shit. It would make the news must-watch every night. You'd be refreshing Twitter all the goddamn time, seeing what old President Asmon's going to do. CJ with $2 says, no such thing as a gimme. Even pros miss 1-footers. Look, I agree with you that there's no such thing as a gimme in that situation, but I'm not playing for money. I'm not going to ruin my fucking afternoon. I'm not going to ruin a beautiful day by missing a fucking 1-foot putt. It's within 1 foot, pick it up. I don't even mind, when I play with people, and there are people who go, it's a gimme, and they'll walk by and give it the tap, and it misses. I don't count those for them. It's a gimme. They go, all right, it's close. It's a gimme. We know they're just fucking around by tapping it. I've seen dickheads go, oh, was that a gimme or no? It's like, shut the fuck up. You know it was. Leave them alone. That's why I don't do the little tappies. If it's a gimme, I just pick it up. I go to the next hole. 09 Canyon says, you are only cheating yourself. No, I'm not. I putted it close. I can pick it up. I ain't cheating anybody. You're right. If I was trying to get to the PGA Tour, if I was trying to be a money golfer, then you're right. I'm only cheating myself. Or if I've got money on a game with someone, you're right. You should put in everything. But if you're just playing the fucking game and you're going to be a cunt about gimmies, they should kick you out of your golf group. If you've got a foursome and everyone else, because this is what every other golfer does, when they're just playing the course. If they pick up a 1 foot putt and you're going to be the cunt who goes, you got to tap that in, they should throw you out immediately. You're being a dick. My Lost Interest says, what about 2 club length gimmies? Dude. See, now you're going to make me sound like CJ. Now I'm going to be a little bit of a rule nut. No, I don't even think you should get a full club length gimme. I think it should be between the putter and the start of the grip. And I'm not going to be a Nazi about it. If it goes a little bit in the grip, you're just trying to prevent your boys from going on tilt. That's all. You don't want your boys to get mad and get pissed because they missed a little nothing putt. That's all. Gimmies on the green and guineas at Stoney's, says Brett Mack. Look at this guy. Chevrolet JB says, seems right. Aaron likes to cheat, so he plays with cheaters. Now, let me say this. At the golf tournament, we're playing for money. Putt your putts. Finish them off. No gimmies, because, you're playing for money. I think that's only fair. If one of our how do you say this? Our hole watchers, it's a little weird. One of our hole watchers sees gimmies, they'll report it, and we'll take care of it. I think if you're playing, but no, CJ's right. If you're playing for money, you take your penalty stroke, take your drop stroke, you putt your gimmies, no mulligans, play it as it lies. If you got to punch one out into the fairway, you got to punch one out into the fairway. That's how it works. Dub says, bet Aaron cheats at bowling, too. Can you cheat at bowling? I would love to. Is there a way I can cheat at bowling? How do you do that? Son of a bitch, I've been doing it wrong. Aaron is the Mulligan King. I am not the Mulligan King. I don't know who told you that I'm the Mulligan King, but they're taking you for a long ride in a fancy car, let me tell you. Dub gifting a subscription to the toe over on Rumble. Thank you very much. He got it to Eagle of America. Eagle of America, pass that shit on. We are... We made $30 tonight. We need to get moving, or this 130 usually with over an hour left, I'd feel pretty good about, but the way it's going tonight, I don't know. I just want to make sure we got this thing in the bag. We got a perfect week going so far. Dub gifting to Eagle of America. Thank you. Wally World said, gimmies speed up play. Yes, absolutely. My Lost Interest says, dicks out rules apply. Wait, what? MSO says, your shirt screams, gimme your cum. That's not what that means. That's not what that means. It's not, you're abusing the term gimme in this sense. Chevrolet JB says, Aaron, we understand you suck at golf. Thank you. Finally, somebody fucking gets it. Tired of having these debates about the sanctity of the fucking game. You know who can have debates about the sanctity of the game? Scratch golfers. Guys who shoot between 70 and 75. Those guys can talk about gimmies and all that shit all day long. Those of us who are in the 90s, leave us the fuck alone. Are gimmies okay in golf? In casual rounds of golf, gimme putts are often accepted as a way to speed up play and avoid unnecessary strokes on very short putts. However, in competitive play, particularly at professional levels or sanctioned tournaments, gimmies are not permitted. See? Exactly what I said. CJ with $5, he knows how to hurt me. He goes, cheating in golf is more embarrassing than the druggy cuck stuff. If missing a short putt ruins your day, that's Melton levels of fragility, homie. He knows where to hit me below the belt. He knows where to hit me. Son of a bitch. CJ, you win. You win. 125 away from tonight's goal. You know what's funny is I sat here and I went, oh man, if I'm going to miss the goal by a shitload, well, let's just talk about golf then. And I start talking about golf and all of a sudden here comes the money. Loaded Wrench with $5 says, I played baseball with Aaron in high school. He would stay on base after being tagged out. No, I would never do such a thing. How dare you? Wally World says, how much of a goal for gimmies at the tournament? You knock out tonight's goal right now before 7:30 in the next 3 minutes, and I'll allow gimmies at the tournament. There. That's how nice I like a nice non-goal last hour of the show. You knock out the 125 that's left in the next 3 minutes, and I'll allow gimmies at the tournament. That's how little I give a shit about the sanctity of the game. All right, 125 away. Thank you, guys. All the links are in the chat. Go ahead and throw in whatever you'd like to. We've got a lot of stuff. Hey, we got RFK Jr. news. Again, man. Also, people were sending me messages today that started basically with, hey, retard, which I always read those. I always make sure I read the ones that start off, hey, retard. I go, who dare call my name? They were saying you were trying to figure out what they were distracting us from with these LA riots. Because anytime I see the news over covering a story, it's always this hand is doing this over here to distract you from what this hand over here is doing. And it looks like this one's doing jazz hands and this one's cupping balls, but that's not what I'm doing. And in this case, people were writing me today going, hey, dipshit, retard, fuckface, asshole, with all of which are acceptable. They said, obviously, the LA riots are being used to distract people from all the crazy Elon Trump Epstein stuff that was going on over the weekend. Isn't it funny that right after Elon starts tweeting about the Epstein stuff, all of a sudden Los Angeles spontaneously combusts? And I'm like, oh, God, stupid. They're right. That's exactly what the distraction is. The gimmick on the LA thing is the shit we're not doing with Epstein. You know, and that might be better. That might be an improvement, because I remember in the Bush and Obama years, anytime they were distracting you with something over here, that usually meant like some grand scheme against our text messages and emails, privacy and civil liberties was under attack. Like it was like, hey, look over here. We got a cool Cash for Clunkers program where you can turn in your old car and get money. You're like, hey, that's fucking sweet. What are we doing? Reading all your texts and emails, you stupid fuck. Julian Assange comes out and tells us we arrest him. We accuse him of all sorts of horrible things, all because he told us what the government was doing to us. Sam Show says everyone forgot about Doge being legit. Didn't they? Everyone forgot about the fact that the Republicans are all fighting about the big, beautiful bill. They just forgot about it because LA's on fire. Hey. I thought we were all just under the impression that LA was in a perpetual state of shittiness, but apparently we care now. MSO with a good line. He writes, so basically, April screamed, gimme a divorce. Gimme. Wait a minute. That's clearly not how the history books read. But I was the gimme guy. I said gimme. She was the one who didn't want to sign it. I want you to sign an NDA. We think it sure would be terrible if Ashley were to find out about everything you've been doing. Oh, really, bitch? Well, then in that case, why don't I tell them all? So, yes, I was the gimme guy. But as usual, like I am on the golf course, I'm the gimme guy. I don't know if you saw this, but RFK Jr. fired everyone on the vaccine control board. So all that shit, remember when Trump nominated RFK Jr. to be the Health and Human Services Secretary? And they were asking him during his confirmation hearing, like, are you going to blow up all the vaccines? Are you going to, like, fuck with all the vaccine shit and say that the vaccines aren't allowed anymore and we're stripping down the vaccine schedule list? And he's like, no, I would never do anything like that. And they're like, are you sure? Because you've been like the shitting on vaccine guy forever. I'm telling you right now that I will absolutely keep the vaccines that I think are good in place. And they're like, okay, we'll confirm the guy. Fine. Well, he's taking a fucking hatchet and flamethrower to the vaccines. He's already cut some vaccines out of the schedule. I think it's a good thing. You know, he took the COVID vaccine out of there. Well, now he's fired everybody on the vaccine control board, and he's going to replace the whole goddamn thing. The Department of Health and Human Services dismissed all members of the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices on Monday. The committee's job was to decide and make recommendations related to the necessity and use of vaccines, according to an HHS release. All the current members of the committee were brought in under the Biden administration, and 13 of them were put on the committee last year. Now, I understand why you'd fire this entire committee. They were all responsible for the decision and the promotion of the giveaway to Pfizer for the COVID vaccines, putting everything on the list. You got to do it. These were probably people who were behind the vaccine mandates that were incredibly unpopular. And all that was a giveaway to the drug companies. So I think that RFK Jr. might have just fired a shitload of corrupt people. The committee's job was to make recommendations on vaccines. All the current members of the committee were brought in under Biden. HHS said it would take until 2028 for most of the members to be replaced if they served their full term. So instead of letting them serve out their full term, which would take about till the end of this administration, RFK just went, nah, it's okay. We don't need you. Get the fuck out. And they're like, what do you mean? We're here. We're doing our job. Yeah, no, we don't like the job you're doing. Fucking leave. You just want us to pack our shit. Yeah, pack your shit and go. Well, who are you going to get to replace us? Anybody, a fucking chimp. I don't care. I don't like vaccines. Never have. So RFK Jr. kind of pulling the mask off here and letting us know, yeah, I always intended to go after the vaccines. In its official announcement, the government said it was prioritizing the restoration of public trust above any specific pro or anti-vaccine agenda. Interesting, because what RFK Jr. wants to do, or at least what he says he wants to do, is he wants to look into all of our vaccines and find out which ones are necessary and which ones might not be necessary and which ones might be healthy and which ones might be causing problems. And on its face, I don't mind that. Like, I'm a pro-vaccine guy for the most part. I'm glad that we don't have measles, mumps, and rubella running around unless, you bring illegal immigrants in or people from third world countries who don't get shots. But, like, if they're just going to look into these vaccines and they study them and they don't seem to be a problem, what's wrong with looking into them? And if we look into them and there does turn out to be a problem, well, I sure am glad we had people looking out for us who wanted to, look into this shit. I think it's a win-win. Vaccines, of course, are always a lightning rod topic, especially in the post-COVID era. They are sort of a tripwire of modern U.S. political discourse. Even the pretense of wanting to discuss them can start a frenzy. That's true, That's true. If you even say, hey, because like a guy like me, who, my kids are vaccinated, I'm fine with my kids being vaccinated and all that stuff. But like, if they came out and said, hey, we just want to look in to all of these vaccines and make sure everything's on the up and up, then cool. Great. Awesome. Let's do that. Let's look into them. I don't see how that could be a threat. Some people treat that like it's a threat, like somehow if we look into all the vaccines, it means you're anti-vaccines and you want kids all to get polio. Anytime there's a group of people who are scared of looking into something, I'm immediately skeptical of those people. Wally World says, aha, now we know the blackmailers. Oh, for sure, right? These are, or the blackmailed. Landers says they were all paid shills for Big Pharma. It would appear so. Yankee says, I hate not trusting anything anymore. I just keep praying for that giant asteroid to take it all away. What? No, what? Hey, whoa. I mean, maybe the Empire has seen better days. I don't know if we need to root for Armageddon. Jesus. Landers says, sorry, but your kids don't need 70 plus vaccines at the age of 17. Before the age of 17. They do give babies like a shitload of them right away. I think that is kind of weird. I think we could space them out a little bit. But again, even if you say that, even if you say, like, if you're pro-vaccine and you say, hey, maybe we could space the vaccines out a little bit, there are some people who look at you like you're that guy who stands on the corner in white overalls with a red splotch on your dick protesting circumcision. Like, they just look at you like, you crazy conspiracy theorist. And you're like, no. I still believe in the vaccines. I just think that we should maybe not inject little kids with so much medicine all at once. I mean, we don't even let kids take adult Advil. We don't, when you give kids the amoxicillin that tastes like bubble gum, you got to measure it out. But apparently when they're little babies, just start fucking poking holes in them, and just start putting, new medicines in them every day. I don't know. That seems a little weird to me. Like maybe we could take another look at it. I mean, can't the pharmaceutical companies wait can't we space it out, 8, 10, 12 months each on these vaccines? And maybe these drug companies might not get their checks until a little later. It doesn't seem so. I mean, it really doesn't seem like something you'd scream at someone for and call them a conspiracy theorist is all. MSO says, I'm enjoying the show tonight. Must be the Dilaudid. Hey, man, whatever it is that's got you enjoying the show, I say stick to it, even if it's causing immense damage and strife in your home. Sam Show says it gets easier when you realize you never really needed to know anything. Just assume the Jews are lying. You're usually right. 09 Canyon says, yes, too many vaccines too quickly. My Lost Interest says, I enjoy the RFK Jr. impression. It's spot on. See, I feel like I need a little work on the RFK Jr., but if you're saying it's spot on, I'll take it. I just don't think that. See, once I find it, like most of my impressions, don't make a joke here. Don't make a gay joke. Most of my impressions are in my throat. And once I can find that spot in my throat, the impressions are easy. Like Alex Jones is up here. It's kind of like it's at the top of your throat. It's at the top of your neck. It's right where your throat and your mouth meet each other, and then you throw a little Southern accent in there, and the goddamn frogs are gay. But RFK Jr. is a weird one because you have to make sound come out of your face, but then choke it off at the same point, and it's kind of in the back of your throat, and it's here, and you have to kind of be a little hoarse, but then also it starts to sound like Jimmy Stewart a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm totally sold on my RFK Jr. impression. Jesse Ventura is down at the bottom of your throat, and you have to sling your lips around wildly and over-enunciate. Whereas Mike Lindell is up here a little bit more. He's a little bit higher up in the throat than Jesse Ventura is. So get yourself a MyPillow and let's elect Donald Trump for a 17th term. And then, goddamn, son, Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's kind of in the middle of your throat right here. And then you put that same goddamn Alex Jones accent on and give me a hell yeah. Oh, and I've got a beer tonight, too. And I could do a better Bret Hart impression if I could figure out the Canadian accent. Angelica's doll says, who'd you golf with today, Aaron? Fuck you. Myself, like a loser. I have to go golfing by myself in the afternoons. I can't go. There's nobody to golf with. Everybody's doing shit. Me, just sitting around like a loser. JMB says the Alex Jones isn't bad either. Of course not. End of Silence says Vince McMahon would like a word. Dude, the Vince McMahon impression is the most taxing to do on your voice because it's just, the middle of your throat is coughing up the words, you're fired. It really hurts to do it. And then I'm going to shit on your chest. Taste Very Ialto says R.I.P. Paul Bearer impression. Yeah, I can't do my Paul Bearer impression anymore because my voice won't go high. Oh, Undertaker. See, I can't do it anymore. Das Optic Nerve says Aaron does have a great whoopee, though. The whoopee impression is difficult because it doesn't matter how slow you're talking. You have to slow down even more. Like, you come in here, child, and you start talking about Donald Trump, and you start talking about this election, and the Democrats think they have all the answers, but the Republicans are straight Nazis, honey. And it's kind of but you got to put a little more gravel in it. That's another one like RFK Jr. I got to find the spot, and then it's easy. CJ with $2 says, can you impersonate Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro? I can't get Jewy enough for Ben Shapiro. I've worked on a Jordan Peterson, and it's the same thing with my Bret Hart. I can't fucking do the Canadian accent. So I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to. Wally World says that's the best way to do a quick round is go by yourself. Yeah, I mean, you can get through the course in 2 hours. I mean, it's if people, obey the laws of the course and let you play through. Landers says, you talk like that, you can shit on my chest all night, baby. Oh, God. Well, you'd better get ready, because you'd better open your blouse, because I'm going to shit on your chest. Dub says Aaron's impression of Trans Rambo is spot on. He does such impressive trans and gay impressions that, almost too good. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm $35 into my goal tonight. I don't need to take this fucking abuse over $1.25. I'm sorry, $1.20. Sorry about that, loaded wrench and CJ. I don't need to take this shit over 120. I got 45 minutes left in my show tonight. I'm $120 away from the goal. I'm sitting here dancing like a fucking monkey while you guys throw me impressions to do, and I'm getting my ass kicked. Riding Dirty Llama says, Amber Heard. Amber Heard, you shit on a bed, but you've never had Vince McMahon shit on your chest. So stupid. All of it. The whole thing. Utterly retarded. What are we even doing tonight? Let's continue on. Well, we got the chat moving here. Aaron does a good impression of an anime character. Oh, the spirits are here. There. That's my impression. Let's hear your Virgil Riley Runnels Jr. Well, you see, baby, the thing about the impression of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, is you just got to talk like a complete asshole with a lisp, baby. And then once in a while, you put a little gravel at the top of your mouth. And then the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, going to put a little gravel in your mama's bed and set it on fire, baby, with my loins, if you catch my drift. Because when the American Dream goes to the pay window, he takes your mother out to the VFW or the American Legion, and then I bring her back all shot up on Schlitz beer, and I get her to drop her panties, and then Vince McMahon shits on her chest. See, we're mixing them. Wild Saffron says, maybe you could do an impression of someone whose relative died and you can't leave the state to go to the funeral. That is a very mean Nick Rekieta joke. Does his uncle who died live out of state and he can't go to the funeral because he's on probation? Oh, that fucking sucks. That's not nice. MSO says that impression was actually Dusty Loads. Oh, well, that's totally different. Eagle of America passing on the membership he got gifted to Angelica's doll. Thank you very much. That's another 5 in the coffers. 115 away from tonight's goal. Keep it going, you filthy bastards. And let's see if we can't hit $100. JD Straight Shot with $5 says, what do you think Chad's new show is going to be? Fill me in. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. What do you mean, what new show? Isn't he just streaming? Is that necessarily a new... I don't know if that's a new show. Thank you very much to JD Straight Shot with the $5. Fill me in on that. Tim Bollinger finally becoming a fan of the show and being a part of the bit. Tim says, do an impression of an arrogant douche. All right, guys, we got about $110 left in the goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. Let's rack up a few contributions and call it another win for the toe. How's that? Is that pretty good? That's not bad, is it, Tim? Thank you for finally, fucking untying the knot in your panties and fucking joining the rest of us. Thank you very much to NoPen15 Fathead with $2. He says, let's hear your Adolf impression. Oh, yeah. Hitler's an easy one. So Hitler, all you got to do is just do a German accent and yell. It's pretty simple. It's the greatest lieutenant that I have in my army is a man by the name of Samsho. Samsho tells me where all the Jews are in his neighborhood. He points them out. He goes upstairs in the attic, underneath the floorboards. He's always very encouraging. He says, get them, Führer, get them. Samsho It's like the sons that I never had because I've given Eva Braun so much methamphetamine that her womb is polluted. Say goodnight to the bad guy. You're never going to see a bad guy dressed like this, let me tell you. Sorry, now that's just Hitler doing Scarface. I apologize. Wally World with $20 says, impressive impressions. Thank you. See what he did there? Impressive impressions. And we've got CSE with 5 gifted memberships over on YouTube. Holy shit, that's what we call a rally, boys and girls. $80 away from tonight's goal. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very, very nice of you. Now we're only 80 away. All of a sudden, our fortunes have turned around on tonight's program. Keep it moving. Keep gifting those subs. Keep throwing in those Rumble rants and Super Chats and PayPals and Venmos and Streamlabs and all that horse shit. We really do appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much. 80 away, and all we had to do was a few goofy voices here and there. Oh, my God, not 110. Sorry, YouTube. You guys are getting bad information. There we are. 80 away from tonight. Let's go to... Oh, there it is. My Lost Interest says, Chad's done with Kumia's cucks. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good call because that doesn't really make sense anymore. Kumia's not really in that world. I think he's kind of put all his eggs in the radio basket. He wants to be in there. He wants to rebuild that radio career. I get it, man, because I'm in the process of doing the same thing. When you're number one and you have it taken away from you, you didn't lose it. You fucked up and nobody beat you. You were crushing everybody and you fucked it up. You're the only person who could beat yourself. You want to get back and you want to reclaim it because you know you can. And, the people I've talked to about going back to radio have said the same thing. Aaron Anthony going back really helps your cause because he's got even more of a checkered past than you do. People are taking a risk on him. That makes the rest of us feel comfortable. So, he's a bit of a, old Daddy Kumia is still lighting the trail, blazing the trail, showing me the way, I suppose. So, Kumia's cucks is kind of retarded because there's really only one left, isn't there? It's Carl. Carl's the only one who still sucks that dick. Kumia's got better things to do at this point. He's rebuilding the radio career. He knows he can't fuck around with this stupid, retarded internet shit while he's building a radio career. They're going to give him a syndicated drive time show pretty soon. Anthony Cumia will live out his golden years with a syndicated afternoon or morning political talk radio show that he can do from his home in South Carolina, and it's going to be a well-paying gig. Shit, he's getting like $150,000 a year right now doing a Sunday show. So he'll be back he'll be signing a multi-million-dollar contract if the numbers are right anytime soon. Wally World with $1 says, how much to do the rest of the show as Adolf? I will, if the $80 is knocked out by 8 o'clock, I will do all of overtime answering your guys' chats as Adolf. God, that's a half hour of that shit. That's a lot. Nah, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I could do that. That'll blow out my voice, honestly. That'll blow out my voice. So, yeah, I think Chad dropping the Kumia's cucks thing would be great. The only question, and I don't mean this as an insult to Chad, what the fuck is he going to do? Is he just going to be a beef tuber? That sounded so... Okay, that sounded way gayer than I meant it to. I mean, like, is he just going to, like, start fights with Patrick Melton? And is he just going to start fights with Ray DeVito and, Ethan Ralph and all these other... And Rekieta? Is that what he's going to do? Kind of seems unfulfilling. I understand none of those guys that talk about me do an actual talk show, like do an actual themed show like we do. They can't do it. I understand that. I'm not saying they all have to do it like I do. But, like, it's so pathetic doing that drama tubing. Drama segments are fine. Like, making it part of a show that's got a little variety to it is fine. But, like, because if you make that your whole show, unfortunately, you make that your whole life. And that's no offense. I don't mean to be arrogant, but that's a pathetic fucking life to live. That's really fucking sad to live your life talking about other people in like a personal, vindictive way. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I much prefer the drive-by method. You know, a little drive-by sniping here and there. Bam, you know, poke them a little bit, knock them off balance, get them screaming and run off. I like that a lot better. Let's go to Landers says, yeah, what station is openly hiring a legit pedo for a radio host? What's next? Melton on ESPN? Melton doesn't know anything about sports. He'd have to be doing like something about judging college cheerleading. Wasn't he a cheerleader? No, he was a theater kid. That's right. He wasn't. No, because those male cheerleaders actually have muscles. Melton was in the much gayer thing. They're saying that Cumia should have pivoted to it a decade ago. He couldn't. He was damaged goods. He was the racist guy who was yelling the N-word in Times Square. It was too hot. You know, he had just gotten fired, so he had to build up a little goodwill and figure it out that way and just wait it out, wait his time. Riding Dirty Llama says he can't do call-ins anymore. Cumia, he doesn't do call-ins? He doesn't need it. It's kind of overrated. Billy Bob Norris says, prediction, Cumia will end up having his talk show on Sunday while also having an unfiltered show on Sirius XM 3 to 4 days a week. I'm going to say no. There's more money in doing a syndicated terrestrial. Believe it or not, there's more money in doing a syndicated terrestrial radio show than a Sirius XM show. More people listen to terrestrial radio than Sirius XM by far, and it's not even close. Sirius XM's a dying breed. They're trying to put on as much pre-recorded podcast shit and sports and all that stuff as they can. Sirius XM has seen better days. Cumia would be better off just sticking with ABC Radio, doing that whole thing, because it sounds like they've got big plans for him. So I think that's where his future is at. JMB says, I'm shocked that Sirius XM is still around. Well, I think they're owned by some big hedge fund. Sirius XM stock. What are they at? Sirius XM Holdings. $22 a share. How the fuck are they at $22 a share? Where have they been in the last 3 years? Oh, down. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. In 2022, they were at $61 a share. So in the last 3 years, they've gone down $40 a share. Oh, fuck. They've lost over half their value. Son of a bitch. Yeah, they've seen better days, that's for sure. Mac with $4.99 over on YouTube. Thank you very much, Mac. We appreciate that. Hey, guys, $75 away from tonight's goal. Thank you so much for your generosity. Keep going. Those 5s and 10s are going to hammer this thing out in the next 35 minutes. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Are they down to $3 a month? Somebody just said for $3 a month, it's better value than OTA. Are they really down to $3 a month for Sirius XM? I think what a lot of people do is if you call and you cancel, they'll just keep you on for whatever they can keep you on for. We got $10 over there on PayPal by Anonymous Fake Dono. Says a D out in golf is when a dick out in golf is when your tee shot doesn't reach the women's tee box. If this happens, you must drop your pants and show everybody your wiener and balls. You learn something new every fucking day, whether you want to or you don't. $65 away from tonight's goal. Thank you, Anonymous Fake Dono. I appreciate that. So 65, it's getting easier and easier every second. Thank you guys very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. Riding Dirty Llama says XM is not $3 a month. Is that? I got to look up that dicks out thing in golf and see if that's a real thing. The rule is if your drive doesn't go past the ladies' tee box, you have to hit your second shot with your dick out. It is amazing to me that any guy calls any other guy gay. Because we do shit like that. First of all, do you think you're golfing with any chicks when you're doing this? No. Do you think that if you were golfing with any women and you were doing this, that somehow they would think, oh, that's really great. Oh, man, I love that his dick's out while he's golfing. No, because all she's thinking is, did that pussy really not hit the ball past where I'm supposed to tee off? So no matter what happens, the whole thing is gay. It's gay. Wally World says, Aaron is right. If you cancel, they will give you a much better deal. Well, yeah, they'd rather have $5 a month from you than $0. Let's go to CJ with $2. Says, yes, you noob. It's an unofficial rule. Oh, sorry, I didn't know the rule where you got to be gay as fuck around a bunch of dudes and pull your cock out. Landers says, golf with chicks. Ew, Aaron, vagina is icky. The thing about golfing with girls, the only problem with that is that you have to let so many people play through. Because, like, if you're a group of two, if you and your girl are golfing together and there's a group of 3 behind you, just let the group of 3 go. Because, unless they've got a woman with them. Because women just don't, most women, not all, I understand. You gals have come a long way, you golf now. A lot of them don't hit the ball quite as far, Thank you very much for that $2, buddy. I appreciate that. My Lost Interest says, watching a guy hit a golf ball with his dick out is pretty funny to watch. I don't maybe I'm not a dude. Maybe I'm in an odd way gayer than you guys are because I don't want to see a guy with his dick out. I don't want to see a guy with his dick out and just waving it around while he takes a golf shot. No thanks. That doesn't strike me as funny. It strikes me as problematic. All right, you know what? The chat has been remarkably fun. I'm trying to get away from the chat, but we've been making money, and everybody seems to be having a good time. We're $65 away. We got a half hour left. Let's see if we can hammer this thing out. Wally World says, the one time I played with my wife, she insisted on teeing it up on the fairway. Never again. I mean, that would speed the game up quite a bit. There have been times where I've been, like, it's a par 5, and I've been just behind, like, the 200-yard stake by, like, 15, 20 yards, and I'm like, man, if I could tee this up and get my driver on it, we might have a shot at an eagle putt here. I've never done it, but I've certainly considered it. I've thought about it. And, man, we could putt for eagle. And then I realized, that would require me hitting the ball straight. That's never a guarantee. Could end up in the other fairway. What the fuck are you doing? End of Silence says, if Toe meets the goal, he golfs in a Speedo. No, but I'll take all donos in different impression requests. We're only 65 away, so now we're at that spot where I can smell blood in the water and I can taste the goal. So I'm willing to entice in any way I can. I'm such a whore. Speaking of whores, did you hear Aaron Rodgers is married? The fuck? Aaron Rodgers got married. Last time I checked, he had broken up with... Who the fuck was he breaking up with? He was with... Who's the chick with the hairy armpits? Secret Life of an American Teenager. Shailene Woodley. He was with Shailene Woodley. Before that, he was with Danica Patrick. I was always convinced that Aaron Rodgers was gay and that Aaron Rodgers was just putting on an act for all of us, and he was really trying to force it with the whole dating girls thing. But apparently he's not a mo. He got married to a girl, and he's keeping it private, which I think is a remarkably smart thing to do. He's getting married. He found a gal. He's not going to put her in the public eye. He knows that he's got another year of football. That's it. And then he's done. This year with the Steelers is going to be his last season. And then we're going to and then he's going to just settle down and live a nice, private, quiet life with his lady. Good for him.
Aaron, a lot's been made about the ring on your left ring finger. Is that an Oura ring or anything else? That wedding ring?
Yeah, it's a wedding ring.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How long ago?
It's been a couple months.
Well, there you go. Good for him. Again, really throws the scent off the gay trail, if you ask me. CJ with $2 says, now I'm convinced you've never actually broken 100. I break 100 regularly. I'm just having a problem getting to 90. Oh, boy. CJ is a big critic of the way I take care of myself on the golf course. I'm going to click on this out of wild curiosity. I haven't heard of this. Doomsday mom kicked out of court after feud with judge. I want to see this. I don't know about this story. The screen caption got me after this Aaron Rodgers story. Let's go to this, then I'll go back to the chat. You guys have been on fire lately. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That if the defendant opens the door and tries to advise that she is a good person, a peaceful person, a kind person, a loving person.
Hey, great. Well, everything should go very well. She's a kind person, peaceful person, loving person. That's what we're hearing. Let's watch her prove that.
Any of those other types of things that we believe that would allow us under 405 to then bring in specific acts, such as the murder of her children, her husband, and her current husband's wife.
Wait a minute. But you said she was loving and nice and she was decent and good, and now she's fucking murdering everyone? Go back. I got to hear that again. I don't know how the two of those jive with each other.
You advise that she is a good person, a peaceful person, a kind person, a loving person. Any of those other types of things that we believe that would allow us under 405 to then bring in specific acts, such as the murder of her children, her husband, and her current husband's wife.
Yeah, I think that those things. Wait, her current husband's wife? How does that work? Her current husband's, you would mean ex-wife. Your Honor, they say that she's a good person. We would like to counter that with she murdered a fuckload of people, including children. That is going to be a steeper hill to climb.
All right.
Which would also be 404B that they withdrew. No, it would be 405.
Yeah, they withdrew it, but if you bring up 404 that you...
Then all 404B is in, or do we get a hearing on what 404B can come in? If I open the door, do I get a hearing? We stop trial and I get a hearing on...
Stop. We'll have a very short hearing, okay? If you're going to introduce how you have great character and good character, we're going to have a short hearing on what evidence that they can bring in to rebut that character.
Yeah, if you bring in the evidence that she's a really swell lady, and then they can bring in evidence that she's murdered a fuckload of people, I feel like that's fair. Like, if I bring up that I'm a really good cook and they bring in a shitty batch of spaghetti I made, that seems fair. We have ourselves an argument. She's a real sweetheart. Well, these corpses we dug up say different. That's fair.
Which could include being convicted of 4 murders.
So and would you
talk
like...
to your advisory counsel during the break. And
you don't need to yell at me either.
Oh, she's the lady? Wait a minute. Why are you speaking? Would this be the attorney that... Shouldn't an attorney be speaking?
Okay.
Yeah, you are, and you do not need to talk to me that way. I'm very courteous. I'm very courteous to you.
No, you have been nothing near courteous to me during the course of these proceedings. Talk with your advisory counsel about the rest of your cross. We're going to resume in 15 minutes.
All rise.
Wow. They don't take any shit in those courtrooms, do they? She was kind of whining and being cunty. It's fine. They do, though. I mean, you open. That's what they talk about, though. You open that door in those trials, and you're like, "Oh, she's so great. She's amazing." And they're like, we got 5 people who say she's a piece of shit. What do you think? Well, they just get to say that? Well, yeah. If you get to say she's a good person, they get to show all the corpses that beg to differ. CJ with $2 says, do you think Aaron Rodgers shares her with a tweaker ex-attorney? I would advise him not to. I would say that's probably a bad idea. But Sam Show says Nick did this, LOL. He kind of did. Like, didn't he do this during his he kept trying to object during his CPS hearing. And like at CPS hearings, you're not supposed to object. And he kept trying to object. And like, would you shut the fuck up, please? Like a fucking lawyer who doesn't understand how these fucking procedures work is mind-blowing to me. L-Train says, you vouching for him being straight isn't the best endorsement, boss. That's a good point. That's a good point. My Lost Interest says, I'm second generation Scott, so maybe that's why the dick out rule is funny. No underwear under your kilt either. Well, you folks invented the game, right? Das Optic Nerve says, hate to break this like on the show, but SP stands for suck penis. Sorry, fans. Wait, what? Angel Roll says she helped kill his wife and then married him. Aww. That's sweet. Not ex-wife. Valo, not Daybell. That's Chad's last. I don't know anything about this lady. Sam Show says, this chick is perfect for you, Aaron. She's down to fuck all the time, except you have to kill people. Yeah, I don't like the whole killing people thing. Wally World says, how do people watch these trial streams all day? Boring. Yeah, that's one thing I don't get either. I don't care how good the person hosting the trial stream is. Who sits there all fucking day and watches this horse shit? To me, it's like a basketball game. I'll watch the last 2 minutes when they're at the verdict. That's it. My Lost Interest says, she said she was sorry, so that's true. She was apologetic. She was sorry. Bapa Shab says, excited for my ape shirt. Oh, you got one of the Jesse PS ape shirts, huh? I want to get one. I don't want to tell you. I want to get the Nick shirt from Jesse. I think that's the coolest one out of all of them. But then again, I'm on that shirt. So fair enough. $65 away from tonight's goal, and we are 20 minutes away from being done. Hey, you know what? Honestly, guys, couple of big drops and this thing's over. What do you say? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. Throw us a couple of bucks. We've only got 65 left to go. Please and thank you. We appreciate your generosity. You guys are the absolute best. You're kicking ass. Apparently, this Blake Lively is pissing people off. Old Blake is going around doing victory laps because she didn't have to be sued for $400 million. You know, I just think that whole Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively lawsuit thing is just a great example of, you know, get your chick under control. Because this all could have been avoided. And by the way, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively did a movie that made a fuckload of money. Everybody should have been happy. Everybody moves on. But Blake Lively had to paint Baldoni as a creep. I think what might have happened is that she might have, been crushing on that Baldoni a little bit. Or maybe Ryan Reynolds found some texts or something. And she had to cover it up and tell him, oh, no, he's a fucking creep. He was weird. He was a weirdo to me and blah, blah, blah. And then she had to go publicly and say all this shit. Well, this Baldoni is like, well, no, I have voicemails and I have text messages and I can show that I wasn't being creepy, that I wasn't bothering her, that it was, and Baldoni didn't even say they had a relationship or anything else. He's just like, I'm not a fucking weirdo and a creepazoid. And Blake Lively stuck to that. Ryan Reynolds got her backed her up. So then and then the New York Times reported on it. So Justin Baldoni said, well, I'm suing her for $400 million, and I'm suing the New York Times for $250 million for damages to my brand, essentially. And a judge just threw it out yesterday. And the reason they threw it out is because, like I've been saying on this show, suing a public figure, if you're another public figure for defamation, is really difficult. Basically, the only way you can do it is if you make some kind of actionable legal statement. Like, this person's a pedo, or even then, if there's evidence of them doing that or being attracted to kids, you can. Here's a good one. If you call them an actual child molester. That is one, being, believe it or not, being a pedophile, being attracted to children is not a crime. So you can call someone a pedo and you can have all these things like, look, they said this about kids. I could draw that conclusion. But saying that there's something that's legally actionable, like a rapist, a child molester, things like that, if you say that, it doesn't matter if they're a public figure. You can't throw stuff out there that's clearly disprovable. So the problem is what Blake Lively said about Justin Baldoni was just semantics. It was, he's a creep, he's a weirdo, and it's like, well, prove to us you're not a creep and a weirdo. Well, that's hard to do because certain things are going to look creepy and weird to different people. So they threw out the lawsuit. No $400 million for Justin Baldoni, although I do believe he won in the court of public opinion, so I don't think his career's over. I still think he'll make money. Blake Lively lost friends and reputation over this because she really handled it like a shitbag. Well, now Justin Baldoni's lawyer had to go public because he had to refute the shit that Blake Lively was saying because she's been going out there with the nana boo-boo and telling everybody that, Baldoni's a piece of shit and she won.
What was your reaction to the judge's decision yesterday to dismiss the biggest one being the defamation claim?
Well, we weren't pleased that the judge dismissed the defamation claim, but it didn't, overall, it's not what the case is about. I mean, let's remember where we got started here. We got started because Blake Lively filed a CRD complaint and then, walked over and filed a lawsuit which, accused some very good people of a smear campaign and accused, a terrific young man of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Both of which were completely untrue. And that's where the case got started. It's where the case stands today. Those claims that she brought exist. That's where we want our win. From day one, where we wanted our win, in addition to getting damages, but where we wanted our win is to show there was no smear campaign and there's no sexual harassment. And she hasn't proved a thing. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. Look at the facts. Look at what's been shown.
Right. The voicemails that he released and the text messages that he released showed that he didn't sexually harass her at all, that they were talking about getting together, working on stuff for the movie, her having some ideas. Like, it didn't really show him to be a creep, to be honest. But wait a minute. Is her lawsuit still? Her lawsuit can't still be out there. I hope hers got thrown out too. Lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, I saw his got thrown out. But what about her? Did Blake Lively have hers thrown out? That's what it doesn't say anything about that. Hopefully that gets dropped too. Hopefully that gets dropped and everybody in this whole nightmare can just leave each other the fuck alone. That would be nice. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes left. We are $65 away from today's goal. We got a few more stories left, but I'll be honest, they're kind of dog shit. So let's hang out in the chat for a little bit. We might grab a little something in a little bit here, but I want to see if we have a shot at that $65. If you guys feel like throwing us a couple, we'll have some fun. We'll read what you guys have, and we'll see if we can do some good old-fashioned streamer pandering while we beg for our $65. I mean, hell, throw it in for Crunchy's birthday, for God's sake. We got Wally World gifting 5 memberships. That's going to put Wally in the top 4. Wally is officially in the top 4. Thank you very much, Wally World. That also puts us $40 away from today's goal. Wally with 55.75. Wally is at 80 now. And we're going to update that real quick. That's good enough for third place. Wally World with $80. That's going to put Thermodyne in 4th, and Atomic Ray will drop out of the top 4 with his 55. So now I got to put Ray 55 in my notes. There we go. Thank you, Wally World. If you get a gifted membership from Wally World, be sure to pass it along. We got $40 left to go. Let's knock it out and call it another win for the toe, my friends. Thank you very, very much. And Wally World, thank you so much for your generosity today. 09 Canyon says, he's a sleuth, a hoe. He's a freak. I think you meant, yeah, they both kind of seem like losers in this whole deal. I will be honest. Bapa Shab says, Aaron is crestfallen that his LGBT icon Harvey Levin isn't there. I just found out the other day that he's gay. Right? I must be the last person on earth who didn't know that Harvey Levin was gay. And I said something yesterday when I found out about it. I'm like, yeah, but he's so jacked and it looks like he works out and he's like 70. It's like, well, yeah, that's exactly what a gay dude would do. Das Optic Nerve says, when will someone have the legal courage to sue Aaron's hairline? Hey, you can't sue my hairline for defamation or false claims. This is the realest hairline you're ever going to meet, my friend. Landers says, we should sue Aaron for unwanted erections. Wait, I'm giving out erections? I didn't mean to. MSO says $40. Come on, that's a gimme. Well, then let's tap it in. Go ahead and take that $40, boys, and tap it in. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Just tap it in. Otherwise, we got to make our next goal with our dicks out. Riding Dirty Llama says, Optic, you can't sue spiders, silly. Thanks. Thanks for getting my back, Llama. I really appreciate it. 09 Canyon says, along came a spider and sat down beside her and scared old SP away. Oh. Why did SP have to be scared away? Goddamn spider. Every fucking time. What do you guys want to do tomorrow night? Do you want me to do, you want me to see if I can do the Gabe Hoffman Keanu thing tomorrow night? Or do you want me to see if we can do the Gabe Hoffman Keanu thing on Thursday morning? That's kind of, I'm bouncing between those two things, I think. What did I do? Joey C's mad at me? Joey C says, emergency stream tonight at 8:30. Oh, my God, that's 10 minutes. Guys, if you knock out our $40 goal, we will watch Joey C shit talk us for a few minutes. We'll check this out. I'm not kidding. Take a look. Joey C emergency stream tonight at 8:30 Central. It's on. Steel toe and crutches came for me. Mistake number one, thinking I wouldn't clap back. Joey C's going full Chicago. No filter, no fear, no mercy. Guys, if you knock out tonight's goal, I will go on Joey C's show tonight and I will confront him about not stopping his live stream for someone who broke their neck. Let's fucking go. That's how we're going to knock this thing out, my friends. I just found the angle. Remember the guy we were talking about yesterday on the morning show that was live streaming? And then somebody went, I broke my neck, call 911. And he goes, I can't. I'm live streaming. I will go on with Joey C if we hit the goal tonight. $35 away. Vadam with $5. Says, Aaron, you should do a live show at the Attend the Protest for Anti-Fascism, No King St. Cloud, from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the courthouse in St. Cloud Library this Saturday. I got my kids. I can't. CJ with $2 says $40 away is close enough to the goal. Good. I mean, normally I would say that's a gimme, but buddy, I got a chance to go head to head with Joey C and talk to Joey C about him fucking not stopping his stream to help someone with a broken neck. Guys, knock out that $35. We'll stay on a little longer tonight. We'll have some fun. Numero Uno says, woke up to piss and saw Aaron fumbled the goal, even with a big story of the toe in the mainstream culture. Wow. Well, Denny, I didn't have you to help me out, buddy. Don't worry. We're, $35 away? And we got the Joey C hook. Plus, we took advantage of, the big video we got off of that Las Vegas streamer shooting, too. Joey claims the guy who was calling that he broke his neck was just trying to get Joey to come over so he could rob him. Hold on a minute. Send me the link. We're going to go on Joey C's show. All you guys got to do, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and knock this $35 out. And then we'll go have some fun with Joe. We'll stay on a little longer. We'll stream snipe the thing. And then if Joey C will send us the link, we'll go on with him. Thank you, Vidam. Thank you, CJ, for the 5 and the 2. 35 more, and it's all over. Thank you very much to Steven with $40. Well, looks like we're doing it. And Steven has now replaced Riding Dirty Llama in first place. Steven is now at 125. Riding Dirty Llama is in second at 102. And Wally World is in third at 80. It's another win for the toe. Thank you, guys. Vidam with $5 says this year feels like 2020 Summer of Love all over again. The protests are going national. Yeah, they have a way of doing that. I mean, honestly, it seems like the people who pay for the LA protests see how much news it gets and how divisive it is and how distracting it is. Might as well see if you can do it in other countries or other states. Funeral director with $2 says Joey is 30 IQ, nearly got murked by daughter. #block. Well, we're gonna get Joey C to send us the link, and we're gonna go on with Joey tonight. Let's see this. Interesting. I'm getting some intel here. Okay. For what? I'm trying to get Joey C to send me the link so we can go on there with him. And we can. Look, man, I want to confront him. He's given all kinds of bullshit about how, I couldn't I couldn't go help the guy because he was trying to rob me. I'm not saying go over there and hold the guy's head. Turn off your fucking live stream. Call 911. Go back on your live stream, and then it's fine. We're not saying you got to go over there and snuggle the guy until he's okay. But fuck, you can turn off the goddamn live stream for 5 seconds to help a human being. Funeral director says, can you mention his daughter's knife attack? No, I don't feel like bringing up people's daughters. I don't think that's cool. Let's go on. People are saying, yay, simulcast. Numero uno is saying, do a simulcast with Joey from your show. That's the plan. We're going to stay on right here, and we're going to go on with Joey C. We're going to watch his show for a little bit. I mean, he called me out. I gotta defend this program's honor, goddammit. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, fuck Joey C. You have no street credit. Wait, I don't, or Joey C doesn't? I'm not looking for street cred. I'm looking for content. Thank you for the $4.99, buddy. I appreciate that. I don't have anything from Joey C yet. I would like him to send me the link. We can. Oh, you know what we can do? We can go into his chat. Let's see. Boom. Is he live yet? Nope. He's not live. The show is called They Poked the Wrong Bear. Funeral director says he brags about being a Twinkie bat boy, too. No to Joe. Thank you for the $2, pal. Everything you guys throw in is going towards tomorrow evening. Thank you very much for that. Hey, while we wait for Joey C to go live, did you guys say you wanted the Keanu thing to be, the Keanu Gabe Hoffman thing to be tomorrow night or Thursday morning? Which one would you rather have? Crackheads wait until you have your back turned and then run up on you. Well, just drop the live stream. Don't break your gate. Make the phone call. Get some help. Then you did it right. Sam Show says you'd get mugged. It looks shitty when someone says, I have a broken neck, call 911, and you're walking there going, oh, I got a live stream. I can't. And then you go, oh, my back hurts. That's the other thing he did. He goes, oh, my back hurts. It's like, nobody gives a fuck about your hurt back. That guy might have a broken neck over there. There's, buddy, come on. We don't. All right. I don't have any links from Joey C yet. But I'm really fucking excited. Oh God, Rekieta's telling people to go fucking die on Twitter tonight. All right, what happened? Oh God, people are this is why he should have never brought up the Gabe Hoffman thing today. Because now people are tweeting at him like, you fucking asshole. You abuse your kids and this and that. And now he's got to be on Twitter all night now. Go fucking die. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Oh no. Now Gabe's happy because he's getting all kinds of promotion. Nick's also flirting with some Mexican chick on Twitter. It's like, bro, bad time. Bad time. Oh, no. Now people are going to this Gina Ramirez on Twitter that Nick's like flirting with, and they're telling her all about Nick. Oh, no. And now Nick is tweeting at her because Nick doesn't have the ability to just walk away from shit. So now he's got to go to this lady that he's been flirting with. Me, all these people telling you all this crazy shit about me. Don't believe them. It's not true. I'll see you in the DMs. Funeral director with $5 says, please ask Joe about stealing money from wife. He took $20 of hers from the dresser and gaslit and yelled at her until she let him keep it. It's happened since. Why do you want me to bring up these like family beefs of Joey C's? I don't. Oh, dude, the only reason I wanted to go on is because Joey C was calling me out. I was getting called out by Joey C, and I want to be able to defend myself if I could. What do we have here? He still hasn't sent me anything. It's 8:30. Is he on? I'm dying for Joey C to say, come on, Joey. No, he moved it to 8:45. Come on. Come on, Joey. This ain't cool. He calls me out. He titles his show, They Poked the Wrong Bear. And now he's sitting here going, oh, I'm going to move it back another 15. Son of a bitch. Funeral director with $2 says, just some good debate points for your defense, Toe. All right, I'm going to keep him in the chamber just in case. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, oh yeah, you know what? You guys can be my debate team. You guys can get me all ready because I don't know anything about Joey C. I just know I've yelled at him before for fun. Numero uno says, Joey C also owes me $20. When he was in the ED with pneumonia, he took my bet that he couldn't hold his breath for a full minute, and he failed. I bet him $100 to his $20. I thought it was only fair. MSO says, call Chad. He has Joey's number. No, I want Joey C to get on, go live, and let's figure this shit out. Like men. Like a couple of pasta fazools. I want us to have a little gabagoo and figure this whole thing out. You know? No response from Joey C yet. No DM sending me the link. No nothing. Like he wrote in the description. Where's the description of the show here? Yeah. Joey C wrote, emergency stream tonight. 8:30 Central Time, which it's a minute past. It's on. Steel Toe and Johnny Crutches came for me. Mistake number one. He doesn't know what I do in my spare time. Mistake number one, thinking I wouldn't clap back. Joey C is going full Chicago, no filter, no fear, no mercy. No fucking chance, bitch. Send Steel Toe the link. I'm going old school. We're going old school Steel Toe tonight. I cannot emphasize to you guys how little I actually give a fuck about this. I just think it'll be fun for you guys to watch. I think it'll be a good time for you guys to check out. Papa Shab says we need a Joey C and Gino crossover. Oh, that would be good, right? Yeah, full Chicago. What's he going to do? Hold a pistol sideways and accidentally shoot a kid while aiming at me? Good one. I remember when Joey C was in those Kid Rock videos back in the day. You know, that's a different. You know what? Never mind. Not important. Yeah, Sam Show says must not be much of an emergency. No shit, right? He got us all worked up. Emergency stream. I'm a fuck Steel Toe in his mouth. Now we're all just sitting here waiting, wondering when Joey C's going to come on out of his hole and make a little noise with the Steel Toe boys. That's all we want. Hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe, hit share. We are staying here tonight. I told you guys if you hit tonight's goal, I would stick around until Joey C went live. Come on, Joe. I got nothing. I'm overtime right now. I don't need to do great content for my audience. I can just wait for you. Should we watch a little bit of him breaking down his viral clip?
Consistently be doing it Monday through Saturday. Sundays off, but I started off this week today with this 1 o'clock opening, and Monday through Saturday will be at the set time. We're back.
Is he already breathing heavy right into this walk? So this is going to be him explaining the clip of him not stopping his stream. And by the way, to give you an idea of how little people were talking about this by today. So we did the Sin City Manny clip, right? And it has over 12,000 views on our channel. I put our Joey C coverage thing up there. 117 views. So on Monday and Tuesday, we went from our most successful clip in months to our least watched clip in years. So Joey C's virality did not last very long. I have to be honest with you. It did jack our live viewership up, though, quite a bit. Holy shit. This last month, over 20,000 different human beings watching the toe. Thank you very much. And that's on YouTube alone. If we go over to the Rumble end of things and the Facebook end of things and all that, I'm sure it's up around 50,000. In fact, we can grab that for you right now. Hell, we're trying to kill time until Joey C comes in here and teaches us a fucking lesson about chutzpah and whatnot. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take our filters, last 30 days. Unique viewers, 34,000 over on Rumble. So Rumble and YouTube, over 50,000 individuals watching Steel Toe. So that's a 4,000 better than the old radio days. That's pretty nice. And that's not even counting the other places, which, by the way, we're now on Twitter, too. Can't wait to see how we did there if anyone was watching on the old tweet machine. All right, is this fucker live yet? Let's...
Regular new program, the new branded programs start August 1st. I posted it in the community. I posted it on Twitter. My schedule, what I'll be doing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays. All right? And I will be solo. So, this is what I decided. Take loyalty very seriously. I don't give a shit. People can't understand. It just don't wash well with me.
Does anybody know what the fuck he's talking about? This is an important thing on your show. You got to treat your shows like they're episodic. There's nothing wrong. You got hours and hours to broadcast. Fill people in. Like, what if people are watching you for the first time? Like this video, a lot of people are going to be watching the follow-up to the clip that millions of people tweeted out, or people tweeted to millions of followers, you might want to fill them in on what's going on and kind of catch them up. Like last week on Joey C is a Chicago dipshit. We did this.
Nothing against my partner. I love him to death. But I don't think he takes me serious or my channel serious enough.
Oh, so we're just talking shit behind his back, you disloyal motherfucker.
I understand what I'm talking about, so like, that's all I'm going to discuss. But I have to move forward and build what I said tenants to build.
What are you building?
And that's by living in Dabbleverse and rebrand it. And
oh, he's a Dabbleverse guy? God damn it. I don't want to be with Dabbleverse people. Oh, they're so gross and pedo-y.
You guys can look at
I hover over it and mock it. I don't want to be.
Community post, you'll see the new schedule starting August 1st when I get back from vacation.
How long of a fucking vacation are you going on, bro?
Right, what a pussy he is.
So is he just walking around in public, like around people yelling at his phone and reading shit on his phone? I mean, don't you dare just go for a walk and enjoy the nice day and leave the internet shit behind. I mean, by all means, you know. Click, 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 click.
Joey C's walk and talk, number 1.
All right.
We're going to go hard today.
Go hard. Let's do it.
What's happening in the world with everybody? How's everybody doing?
That's not going hard. That's small talk. Let's go hard. Talk about your clip.
I put up about 100 shorts. About 100
Great.
shorts.
So we got a fucking cholos riding by. I can't do this. I can't watch this shit. I thought I would be able to kill 5 minutes until he gets on by watching that. I'm not going to be able to do it. All right. He's got people waiting. 5 minutes until Joey C goes live. Papa Shab says he's going full Chicago. Mob shit. You wouldn't understand. Numero Uno says, what the fuck did you think Joey C was? He's the bottom of the Dabbleverse. Oh, God damn it. Son of a bitch. Numero Uno says, I 100% seriously think it would be great if Aaron did a walk and talk stream. How about a golf stream? I could do a golfing stream where I just, mount the camera on the golf cart and we watch me play golf. That would be cool, right? Why call you out, then turn and bail, says Riding Dirty Llama. I don't get it either. I don't like it. I said that if we hit tonight's goal, Joey C's calling us out, saying we're fucking assholes for what we said about his now viral video. So I thought, all right, I'll be there for him. I'll stand in front of him if he wants to go full Chicago. Let's go full Chicago. Yeah, Buzamok, I did see your comment. You know what I like about Buzamok? He's a kind-hearted man deep down. Aaron, did you see my post? Did you see what I wrote on your thing? Yes, I did. I find that adorable. Aaron, did you see my comment on your X post? I hope you get that rat infestation in your home fixed. Stop feeding the rats and they will go away. A little picture I took tonight. I was doing show prep. I was down in the studio. And Gordy has this really bad habit. He watches SP eat. He watches me eat. It's fucking terrible. It's really bad. And I'm trying to break him of it. But at the same time, he's so cute when he does it that I had to take a photo. And this is, look at it. That's Gordy. Look at him. Gordy wanted a piece of my sandwich that I was eating during show prep. So he's sitting down there just looking nice. Gordy just wanted a piece of sandwich. And the thing is, the little fucker, I gave him like a whole piece of deli turkey while I was making the sandwich. And that wasn't enough for him. But there's little Gordster. Just waiting real nice. They are a funny looking breed of dog. I love them. I can't tell you why. I just love that breed of dog. I think they're goddamn adorable, and he's such a good boy. Gordy is such a good boy. I actually texted SP today, and I said, I just texted her and I wrote, who's a good boy? And she wrote, is Gordy a good boy? Guess what? Gordy was a good boy. TikTok. Joey C goes, Steel Toe, oh, you wanted the link? You don't send for Joey C. You wait for Joey C. And I just wrote TikTok, TikTok. What you're going to tell him? You're just scared. There we go. Calling out Steel Toe like that, thinking I ain't going to respond. Oh, here we go. You poked the wrong bear. Here we go. Is he live? All right. Let's go.
Yo, what's good, Carolina family? Oh, am I glad to be back with this one. So,
come on,
driving home today.
Get your fucking sound right, you cunt.
Put on YouTube, and I saw Aaron and Johnny Crutchett.
You're goddamn right you saw us. You see us coming.
It's your boy Joey C, live from the streets of Tampa, where loyalty meets
Tampa
and the real one.
I thought you were going full Chicago, you piece of shit.
And Aaron wants that. He wants that.
Come on. Come on.
Wants that.
Come on, Joey.
Link. Yeah, listen. You don't summons Joey C. Joey C.
You're being called.
You just sit back and wait.
No. You're being called, boy.
You poked the wrong bear.
No, we didn't poke the wrong bear. Hold on a minute.
The wrong bear.
Hold on a minute. We didn't poke the wrong bear.
I don't even know why you attacked me. You don't even know the fucking story. I don't give a shit.
You are too scared
if I even thought the guy
to send the link.
I would have ran over there, dropped everything. I would have waited. I would have.
Come on, woman.
Help them load him in. This was a crackhead.
Let's go.
And I wasn't going to sit there and fall for his booty.
I'm more Chicago than you, you phony Italian.
Truth, not TikTok beefs or YouTube beefs.
Arthur Fonzarelli,
like your clout-chasing dentist. You understand that?
Clout-chasing dentist? I don't even have a dentist. I got shitty teeth. Let's fucking go.
We're gonna go through what him and Johnny first said about me. We're gonna show you the original.
No.
That,
Let's go.
That started with Doom and I guess OJ posted a clip, which they did very well with. Then that guy IDK Sterling, he put it up. Who got like
get your goddamn audio straight, you old hair lip.
It wasn't a work. I had no idea what it was. I hear people saying this is something that
how can they rob you?
Put me up to.
You are broke.
Listen, I was doing my walk and talk, so that's it. Steel Toe. Here's Steel Toe. He sounds like a warehouse safety boot with a podcast that couldn't go viral.
Warehouse safety boot.
That's what I think.
This boot's about to stomp you. You look like Edward Norton in fucking American History X. Let's go, you old slobbermouth sack of shit. I can't even see your bottom lip. Let's go. You sound like the aliens in Mars Attacks. Get your goddamn audio right, and let's fucking go.
You told me I should just tell him I'll be right back.
Jesus Christ. You sound like the Martians in Mars Attacks. Let me save your show.
I didn't grow up in fucking Minnesota,
you goddamn fugazi. You ain't shit to me. I will dispatch of you like Maury's, like the guy from, I can't spell, Maury's Wigs. I'm just going to do nothing but Italian shit.
The biggest mistake you could fucking possibly do. Because you're not going to want none of this. You are not going to want
I don't want to. I want the whole thing, you fucking pork chop. Let's go, you pork rind sucking sack of shit. I will fucking destroy you, Joey.
Enjoy the chat room. Enjoy it. If you feel like I deserve anything, hit me up. We're building up membership. So
everyone thinks you are a coward, Joey.
Because tonight I'm not.
Everyone thinks you're a coward.
Maybe he wants to go after me.
Maybe if I break my neck, you'll be braver.
I'm answering this. I've had other people like Ozone ask me. I asked you 3 times. Listen, I explained it simple. All right. I even poured my heart today, and I want to say.
You sound like shit.
Producer, Uncle Bob, he's here with us.
Joey fears the toe.
My shows. He's helping me with my shorts. And Uncle Bob is a new member. As far as anything with Lou, look, I posted Lou's my man. Lou's the guy I want to be next to me in the chair. I love Lou to death, you know. But I don't think he's thinking everything through. You understand?
Nobody cares, Joey. This isn't entertaining. Bring me on and let's make you some money.
He was making a little money, and there's a lot more money to fucking make. You know, I'm not sending anybody the link. Okay?
You're not sending me the link. You're not sending good audio through the microphone either. You got 45 people watching you, Joey. You ain't got no balls. You ain't got no. Come on. I don't want another win for the toe by forfeit. I want to have this confrontation.
Baby doll. You know what I'm saying? You understand?
I don't want to win by forfeit.
My audio. My audio's not as bad.
Chicken shit. I want to win by blood.
Now, my intentions were to leave June 1st and be back September 1st. I wound up leaving at the end of April.
June 1st. Come back September. Jeez. Oh, he's a snowbird.
I was going a good 32 days before I did a little stream. I've done 3 streams.
Nobody cares, Joe.
And now I'm getting accused that it was all set up stage. Well, if you listen to some of the lower fucking shows that, who lie about everything. But
lower shows. You have 44 viewers. Who's lower than you? BYB? Okay. One more. I saw this. This was, who posted this? Obnoxious John, and it was retweeted.
Okay.
One more. I saw this. This was, Joe. Who posted this? Obnoxious John, and it was retweeted by Misery Loves Clips. Now, we've had this guy on the show before. I don't know a lot about him, though. He was talking shit about us one day. No, his co-host was talking shit about us one day. And so I just turned off.
Let me stop that right there. I don't remember when Steel Toe mysteriously came on before that we were talking shit about Steel Toe. I don't believe.
Yes, you were, Joey. Be a man. Admit what you did. Now send the link, you commie bastard.
But then I think Lou said, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
As we know, didn't like anybody in the Dabbleverse, so of course that's going to be Lou's first reaction.
Lou said, fuck that guy, and I gave it to Lou.
I don't remember any time I ever really, outside of that time he came on, which was a great appearance. I gave him, he did a great, he went out after.
You're goddamn right. Now I'm trying to give you another great appearance, and you won't let me do it. I'm trying to give you another great appearance. Now turn down your mic. You sound like a shitty, panicked naval attack transmission. Come on, Joe.
About his whore wife fucking April. He did do that. So,
look, when the guy's got a point, the guy's got a point. I did have a whore wife named April. And I was a whore at the time, too. Just a house full of whores. House of whores is what it was.
We were fucking talking about him.
On their stream, it had like 13 people watching it, and I just pretended to be really mad. It was a really.
I believe that day we had like 65 people in there, but go on.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I said 13. It was 65. You ever heard of Joey C?
That's right. The name is Joey motherfucking C.
Oh, my God. I'm getting a fucking headache from that goddamn mic.
Is he sniping me? Is he sniping me?
Yes, I'm sniping you, you dumb guinea motherfucker. Send me the goddamn link and I'll cure all your ills. Joey is a chicken shit. Joey is a coward. Joey is a coward. Joey is a coward. I'm just hoping he turns on the channel and he sees this. Chicken shit. Chicken shit. Chicken shit. Chicken shit. Chicken shit. Everybody in Joey C's chat. Chicken shit. Chicken shit. Chicken shit.
Actually, this fucking guy,
he gets
this guy is so retarded. I think so, man. What should I say next, Steel Toe? Tell me what I should do. How do I...
Oh, you're picking on Johnny? You're picking on Johnny? Is that what we're going to do? You're going to pick on Johnny K? Johnny K has more talent in his little finger than you have in your fat calzone bloated body.
co-host was talking shit one day.
You fake Italian, you phony mobster. I thought you were going full Chicago on me. Maybe you are going full Chicago. You're too retarded to figure out technology. That's pretty Chicago, Guinea.
Suck up to me now. Suck up to me then, or suck up now about. Yeah, that's right. You didn't have beef with me, but you went on after and you posted. I paid you $200. Why would I pay you $200 to come on? First, I want you to explain that to me, and I might send you a link after the first.
When did I say I wanted $200? I will grace you for my presence for free. I will grace you with my presence for free. God will come down to grace you. Send the link, Dick.
Isn't another example of over-internet personified?
Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened?
Come on.
Too loud.
Come on, Joey.
What the fuck is happening? Can you guys hear me through my? You guys can hear me through.
We can hear you too much. Holy shit.
Did you guys hear anything?
Your microphone has cancer.
You did hear me, okay. All right, okay. I don't know why it went on that setting. Let's see how it sounds now.
Holy shit.
There we go.
Is this like one of the worst lack of humanity moments I've ever seen? So this Joey C is doing like IRL streaming. He's walking around, which is good. If you see the guy, he could use a walk.
Get some steps in. Okay,
Yeah.
good for you.
That's funny, Joey.
So,
I just called you
Joey
fat.
C's going for a walk, and there is a medical emergency that happens out in public as he's live streaming. Now, Johnny, let me give you...
Joey, I got to tell you, this is the best part of your show so far.
Still a human, or do you...
Here comes the IRL test. I do IRL streamings. I'm some fat.
IRL, you dumb marble-mouthed wop.
Got me there. Been a while. I should have been walking for the last couple months, but I finally got my head out of my ass, and I finally got my brain right.
You didn't get your head out of your ass. It's still there.
Without doing a stream, did wonders for me. You did wonders. Believe me when I tell you.
All right, I'm going to check the chat real quick while Joey fucking psycho babbles. What's going on? Get this guy, anybody who's got Joey C's ear, get him to send the goddamn link.
You fucking Minnesota prick. Your picture was pasted in every fucking news outlet, every newspaper for the guy.
I can't fucking understand the words you're saying.
Live streaming, and someone says, call 911. What do you do?
I say, sorry, guys, I got something I got to handle, and I immediately call 911.
All right, you're about 90% right.
Now here comes the right when he wants Johnny to really swing on his fucking cock. But about 90% right, Johnny, but 10% I'm not going to give you. But Johnny puts him in his place by telling him.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny put me in my place by saying I would call 911, which is exactly what you didn't do.
Oh shit! You just end it and you call. But
yeah, but I've been trained in broadcast like stuff that you don't just you'd be like, oh.
Oh my God, I cannot deal with that fucking sound anymore. I don't mean the mic clipping. That's fine. I mean his dumb 37 IQ voice.
I like to drink male cum, male semen.
I like to drink male cum. How fucking dare you?
Fucking ex-whore wife. And
all right, well, look, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Any man that's married, how can he have the audacity? Let another man.
It's audacity, not ardacity, you fucking dumb wop. Give me the goddamn link and let's discuss what a piece of shit you are for not helping that poor man because you had to live stream to 25 people.
Come all over the place, and then I'm going to come with my tongue and I'm going to lick it all over.
That's Joey. That's exactly what I did.
This is what this guy's into.
First of all, you are describing it in a way that makes it sound like a fantasy of yours. There's cum all over the place. You coming in, you're licking it up. Joey, that is a very graceful retelling of the story. Now send the cocksucking link, you dirty dago bitch.
You're not wrong. You're right. It is my fault. So here we go. This is Joey C. walking around live streaming.
Honestly, the best part of this stream so far is him playing our clip.
Biggest piece of shit move I saw all weekend.
Just so everybody knows, I'll do the super tips, halfway through the show, about the halfway point. So we've been on We've been on.
There
for
are none.
11 minutes. So when I hit the first 30 minutes, then I'll go and do the super.
There are zero.
And then
You
I'll decide.
You have one $2
send
super
him the link
chat
today or make him wait. We'll see. But let's go. Here's now. I believe this is
Joey. I'm not waiting all fucking night for you to blather on with a broken microphone. I'm out of here at 9 o'clock. You dumb dick motherfucker. I'm not waiting for you and your 40 viewers.
I can't hear you. I don't know. I broke my neck. You broke your neck? Call an ambulance?
Okay, so here's the setup, right?
Watch the setup. I'm coming around the corner on my last leg of a very tough walk, dog. I walked.
Oh, a very tough walk. Oh, did you have to swing your arms and put one foot in front of the other? You fucking land manatee. Oh, no, I was on such a long walk. I had sweat pouring down like I was one of the kids in the movie Heavyweights, and I was so tired. Too tired to show basic humanity, stop a live stream that 25 people were on, and call for help so a guy with a broken neck might get a ride to a fucking ambulance.
This guy, when I look to see him, I recognize him. He's one of the bums that has slept out in front of the building here.
Well, then stop the live stream, call 911, and fuck off.
I need an ambulance. I broke my neck. There's no fucking way. First of all, if you broke your fucking neck, you ain't that vibrant, you ain't that alive, and you ain't fucking yelling that shit. You're going to be laying on the floor, and I'm going to walk to the corner and see somebody laying there and fucking baby in a fucking convulsion.
It doesn't cost you anything, you dumb asshole, to stop the live stream. Keep walking on your big fucking, oh my God, this is a really tough walk today. I went to the 7-Eleven and got Gardettos and came right back home. I'm really out of it. Oh boy, is this salty treat going to taste good. You don't even have to break your gate, you stupid whale. You can hang up the phone, you can call 911, and you can keep walking.
That are out there that torment the fucking neighborhood and fucking make it worse and everything and fucking throw garbage, piss, shit, and defecate all over the fucking sidewalk. I don't give.
He's not pissing and shitting on you, moron. He's asking for you to call 911 for an ambulance.
So if you think I'm a fucking hardcore, stupid motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
You are clearly a hardcore, stupid motherfucker.
Moral standards when it comes to a piece of fucking shit like that. So, like, you got moral fucking standards when you fucking sent the little picture, the next picture you thought you were gonna get away with?
Well, no, I didn't know about getting away with it. I didn't even know it was fucking illegal, to be honest with you. But boy, did I find out. That's what jealous ex-boyfriends do to you.
And she fucking left you. You dumb fuck.
Oh! Joey, I think all of this shit talking would score some points if you had a working microphone. Holy shit. This woman broke her neck and needs an ambulance immediately.
Fucking woman with some fucking drug addict.
All right, I gotta get out of here. Sorry, Joey. Gotta get moving. You're scared of the toe. Another win for me. You knew you would look silly. I also cannot stand to listen to this crackly horse shit.
Fucking DJ, watch that fucking radio guy? A fucking joke when it comes to the bedroom with women?
Jesus Christ, I can't understand a fucking word he's saying with the goddamn... Oh my God. Well, that was a fucking bust. I didn't realize how dog shit he was at that. Holy Jesus. Sam Show loves black men says, haha, Joey C is garbage. Joey C in the ring with you. Let's make it happen. I would fucking kill him. That wouldn't be nice. Salty treat, maybe not the best choice of words to describe a snack for Aaron. Thank you, my lost interest. I appreciate that. End of Silence says, Joey's mic is filled with jizz. Aaron, Joey is crazy enough to get in the ring with you. Let's make it happen. All right, I tell you what. You get Joey to agree to meet me in the ring, and I'll go to Tampa and I'll box with Joey. We'll go to a gym. And we'll put it together. You guys go back to Joey's stream. Go watch it tonight. Let him know it was another win for the toe. And try to set up that fight. Chad Buzamok says, Joey will always be his worst enemy. Finally a chance to have a good show to watch, and his audio is fucked. You put the toe on anything, it's going to be a draw, and He doesn't even invite me in for a cup of coffee. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for being with us tonight. We went a little extra for you to... I have nothing against Joey C. I'm just fucking around and having fun with the guy. I thought it was silly, but he didn't want to play ball with us. Take it easy, guys. See you tomorrow morning.